They are that bloody good, Phil Hurton. Oh, Harry Prosser gets dropped! The excitement is building, the crowd is here.
Oh, why not, mate?
Footy fans, and welcome to Webb Oval for round 12 in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. As we hit July, the Division 1 flag looks like a race in two, and today's hosts have been perfect so far. But our visitors, placed in third, get their shot to show that they can compete. Always unbeaten are Filming Footy sponsors: Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Neomorph Mouthguards, Hahn, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish Footy Stats, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the Glenunga Rams hosting Port District. It's a top three tussle to help clear the premiership picture. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Welcome back, Webb Oval. It's a beautiful blue sky but very breezy Saturday afternoon here at Glenunga. Phil Hurton and Lachlan Good. Adam Jeffries is on assignment, which means, Lockie, you get the promotion. You're in the van, you get to call some footy.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a fantastic game out there. Phil, Glenunga, they're undefeated. What kind of pressure's on them this afternoon, do you think?
Well, I guess they haven't won a Div 1 flag before, and they're just cruising at the moment. I think it'll be probably another couple of weeks before the end, towards the end of the season and the finals. Everyone says you've got to lose a game sometime, but Adelaide Footy League is full of teams that have gone through undefeated. And when they met Anzac Day, Largs Reserve, we were there that day. It was Glenunga easily by 44 points, and you'd suspect they'll be strong favourites again today. Yeah,
I strongly suspect that this one they'll probably get this one done at home, but I think Port District will push them all the way, Phil.
Very, very different Port District side. They were flirting with the sort of 50% win-loss. They were drawing there as well. Finally won some games at home, but they've been very good on the road this year. But what I did note is only 13 of those players that played Anzac Day are back today, so very much a changed team. And Lockie, look, I don't know what it is with you, but when you're here, it's blue sky, and when it's cold and wintry, you're somewhere else. How do you think the conditions will help the players today?
Well, I think we're expecting probably a lot of clean footy, to be honest, with the conditions that we've got. There's not really a whole lot of water on the ground as the players behind us nearly get involved in the camera shot, but I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic and pristine skills for a pristine day.
Yeah, strong easterly, and we're on the eastern wing, so we expect to see a lot of footy. Come and join us after the break.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep,
basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship?
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Mentioned it was a breezy day. Adelaide Hills in the background. You can see the gum trees that surround or line up with the wings here at Webb Oval. Getting plenty of movement at the moment. Just hope one doesn't land on top of broadcast van, because that's where we are, the Filming Footy broadcast van. Phil Hood and Lockie Gould. Lockie, how does it feel not to be out in the middle of it today?
Oh, I tell you what, with the wind, I'm pretty glad I'm in here. But I tell you what, I would have been all right anyway. I got the jumper now. Thank you very much to the Adelaide Footy League for giving me that one, and Tony Neal in particular.
Yes, the amount of people that said during the week, can you get Lockie a jumper? He looks a bit cold. So we dug deep, and now you're all rugged up for what will be a fascinating day. And let's have a look at the ladder, because you can see why it is first versus third. And you can see that with the premiership points, Lockie, there is a fair gap between first and second, second and third, third and fourth.
Yeah, you really can. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. I think if Port Districts can get over the top, they probably cement themselves inside that top three. If they lose, they probably open the door for Payneham or Prince Alfred or someone like that to come and potentially challenge them for that third position. Glenunga, though, they're a very, very strong team, and they've got 11 wins on the board to show for it.
Yeah, probably the hardest challenge in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 is coming to Webb Oval and winning. Obviously, no one's managed to do that this year. And if you have a look beyond Port District, just the state, I guess, of the competition, one win between second and eighth. And then the other two sides, Brighton and St. Peter's, are just a further half game and game behind. So you have a bad fortnight, let alone a bad month, and you could find yourself in real trouble.
Yeah, you could almost find yourself fighting relegation rather than fighting for a finals berth, which obviously no team wants to be. But yeah, Brighton, St. Peter's at the minute, they're the teams that are in trouble.
Yeah, and they're two teams that haven't been doing that badly. So our home team today, Glenunga, we usually have a look at their win-losses. Well, for Glenunga, it's all W's.
Yeah, look, lots of green on the board, looking good for them, and they've been flawless every time we've seen them play. They're the best team in the competition for a reason. That shows. I mean, they've already beaten Port Districts this year. You can see that round 3 Anzac Day. That was at Port District. We were up there that day, and they played a fantastic brand of footy there, Phil.
Yeah, average winning margin is just under 5 goals. They've played 12 matches. 10 of those 12 matches have been won by 5 goals or more. The only 2 close ones, they went up to Golden Grove. Kookaburras gave them a run. They got up by 6 points. And the game against Sacred Heart, the second-ranked team, which was here, we streamed it that day, where they got up by just 8. 8 goals, 250, their accurate kicking centre. But they're 12-0. Oh, sorry, 11-0 heading into this week with 7 games left. And I guess they start to think about not just premiership dreams, which they've had since day one, but gee, could we go all the way?
Yeah, could they go all the way? The Invincibles, almost, to borrow a European term, going through without losing. Yeah. I
mean, every game is every game, but they've got, I guess, Port District third, Sacred Heart second are the 2 main challenges. Let's have a look at the team. Let me talk you through a couple of players, because there's a few here that have made a return. Bo Schwartz is back. Which is good. He was a key mover and shaker last year. Also, Jack Machette is back. He's just in his 3rd game this year. Bo Schwartz was playing at Oyen for Oyen United. You know where Oyen is?
No, I have no idea what Oyen is.
If you drive to Tailem Bend and hang a left to Pinaroo, through Lameroo, and you keep going, you'll end up at Oyen. And if you keep going through Oyen, you'll end up at Balranald and end up at hopefully Sydney or Canberra. It's out in the middle of nowhere, okay? And he's been playing there 5 games. But he's back with his second game, and obviously priming. He's a big in, and as is Machette. But of course, number 28, Abe Davis. You'd remember him from his Southern Sturt days. Best and fairest, dual best and fairest. I'm pretty sure now. The captain, the leader. You'll see. You'll call plenty of him today, Lockie.
Yeah, certainly will. Of course, it's really looking forward to the stuff he's going to bring where he plays. I mean, his best footy is up there with some of the best in the competition. So really excited to see how he goes.
We flip it over and we have a look at the Port District side. And okay, we've got some red and we've got some grey. I think they've swept Broadview, they've swept Tea Tree Gully. This is where they came unstuck for the first time this year.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, they did come unstuck against Glenunga at home. A game they probably went into feeling a little bit confident. But, I mean, Glenunga, they were, again, as we said, a 44-point win that day. Very, very impressive. Golden Grove's an interesting one for me as well, to drop that game there.
Yep.
Potentially, something that they might live to regret, but I mean they're still a great side. Port Districts, they've got so much talent all over the board. They've got Lyset, they've got that kind of thing. And,
So losing to Golden Grove would have been their disappointment. They lost to Payneham by 4. They lost to St. Peter's by 7. That would also have been a disappointment, given the Saints are at the bottom of the ladder. Also drew against Brighton, so any given weekend. Probably their biggest one, they beat Sacred Heart by 53 points back in round 6. As the Bees have finished here, and it is Port District. No, actually, hang on. No one's having a shot on goal, are they? Lockie?
Not that I can see.
Down there? No, game is over. Okay, because I was just checking, because it is a tight one. Glenunga, 9-8-52, have defeated Port District 8-7-55. 7-point win to Glenunga Bees. Earlier today, Port District C's 18-14, 122 beat Glenunga 3-8-24. So Ditters got off to a great start, 98. Last week though, Port District at home versus Tea Tree Gully, possibly their most impressive effort of the season, their highest score. Kicked 16-14, 110. Held Tea Tree Gully to 3-6-24. An 86-point demolition of the Gullies, a team they only beat by 6 points in round 2. So to me, I get the feeling that Port District are building towards something special come finals.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure they've hit their best form yet. Again, we've mentioned it numerous times already, but this is going to be a massive test. It's an opportunity to back yourself in against the best in the competition. It's something that you hear coaches talk about. They want to be able to do that. They want to be able to test themselves against the best in the competition, and on Glenunga's home deck, Glenunga are the best in the competition.
As the B-grade umpires come on, the A-grade umpires emerge. Paul Smither and Chris Rash and Tony Simons. Tony might have been the emergency for the field umpires. Zach Bold and Michael Pollins are the boundary, and bringing up the rear, Jonathan Owen and Chris May are the goal umpires. So, have you had a chat to Scott Lyset today? Because you and he were good buddies back on Anzac Day.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy, obviously. We all know about his footballing class. I'll skip right over that. There's no point talking about how good he is. But, I mean, it was great. I had a chat with him, about a 40-minute chat in the club rooms a couple of weeks ago. We were talking ahead of the game against Broadview just about his AFL career and his dreams for this Port District side. They still believe they can be premiers. That's what he said to me, and I could tell it wasn't just one of those throwaway statements. It was something that he meant. And this team, I mean, look at the class. You look at Joseph Haynes, you look at Matthew Rose, you look at Sam Gray. They've just got class all over the ground wherever you go.
Yep. I mean, they were the February premiers in terms of their recruiting. Joey Haynes and Scott Lyset being the top two. You know, when you add those to guys like Cooper Gaffney, for example, Louis Sharrod, who've all got Sandfield experience. Miller Carter comes back. He's been spending some time with the Magpies. In fact, let me just maybe run through the changes for Port District from the team that demolished Tea Tree Gully last week. 4 changes. Jason Iskahus, Trent Heffernan, Jack Gaffney and Thomas Carter are omissions. Mitch Gaffney, so we've actually swapped a Gaffney for a Gaffney, I think. Mitch Gaffney, Harry Dwyer, Nick Mitsaris and Miller Carter as Glenunga now. Okay, can I have my whinge?
Go for it.
We've seen Port District run out. We've seen Glenunga run out. Why is there no class jumper today? And my goodness. Okay, it's not black against black, but it's navy blue. As much as that, Glenunga does have light blue on it, and Port District have white. And yes, they wear different shorts, but we're not in the 70s anymore. Port District have an alternate strip. That's all and I'll leave it at that. As we look at, talk us through when the last few meetings.
So 71 days ago, that is of course Anzac Day, 101 to 57. Glenunga are good enough to get the job done. Then another massive win 328 days ago, which would have been about June or July last year, 152 to 20, a massive win to Glenunga, so they've got two. However, 399 days ago, Glenunga 42, Port District's 54, so they've got the wood over them twice, but Port District certainly can provide a little bit of a fight back, Phil.
I'm trying to remember, I reckon that 42-54 was at Largs. It was at Largs, because I remember it was a close, low scoring, and the one last year, 152 to 20, was just a shock to everybody. Glenunga shot out of the blocks with about 7 goals to nil or something in the first quarter, and just Districts is almost like they didn't turn up, managed to register. And that's the thing, visiting teams can find scoring here difficult. It is a north-south ground, but it's a narrow ground. Let's go to Lockie Gould at the coin toss. No, Lockie Gould's right here. Talk us through the coin toss. This is your area of expertise.
Oh, well, usually I'd be out in the middle, but we're gonna try it from the van here today. As Sharad is in the middle for Port District, just waiting for the Glenunga.
And from your expert view, how does the field look?
Well, we were having a chat off air, weren't we, Phil, about the field? And it's pretty good. There's obviously that dirt patch you can see on screen now, but I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic as Abe Davies makes his way out towards the middle. And it is going to be Davis who wins the tap, so they're going to kick towards the left of your screen, Phil.
Yeah, to the club room end to open things. I'm not sure if there's any breeze favouring either end. I know that it is blowing straight in towards us, which might mean you'll get to see a fair bit of close footy, which will please us. Some other games. Lockie, what have we got coming up today?
Well, across the Filming Footy platform, we've got Prince Alfred taking on Broadview Tigers. We've got Golden Grove taking on the Brighton Bombers. We've got Sacred Heart taking on St. Peter's, and Tea Tree Gully have got Paynham Union. They've got Paynham as well in the other games across.
Yeah, all of those games really hard to pick. Maybe Sacred Heart, St. Peter's, second versus last. But those other three are right in the middle of that log jam. Golden Grove Brighton is huge. Golden Grove won last week by a point. If they'd have lost that... Oh, hello, we've got a special guest. Give the man a mic. We haven't got the predict. Oh, you're favourites. You're undefeated. You'll be favourites until you lose, Nathan. It's okay, but we got the side. We got coach's cam ready to go. We're expecting a big performance.
Oh, well, he came up and spoke to us and just wouldn't go for it.
He decided... He must have got annoyed he wasn't interviewed pre-game. I'll come up and do mine. Want to know who we were predicting?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we probably should... Look, we all picked Glenunga. The margin will be interesting. Probably depends on how they deal with the weather and whether the set shots are going to be accurate or not today, I'd suspect. Because you will have to sort of aim to the east, because it's certainly going to come west by the time we're done.
Absolutely, it will feel it's going to be a fantastic game of football. I'm excited for this one. Phil, can I grab a tip from you?
I'm going to say Glenunga. Oh, look, I'd like to think it's close, but I think they're going to win by 5+ goals.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go Glenunga, but I'm going to go by 2 or 3.
Okay, we'll see how that works out. We couple of our sponsors. We do thank Hahn for their sponsorship of our scoreboard. Dartfish Footy Stats, our game day sponsor with the replay. The Interchange, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic. Our boundary rider. Who's that today? Police Credit Union. We do have the Player of the Year, which is something we'll have to work out as well. And of course, we're still going to have our post-game presentations. Lucky, you still get to do those. The Belgravia New Balance voucher, the Archie's footwear, and the iconic Dartfish beanie.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to the post-game presentations for whichever team is lucky enough to win.
I'm going to choose the best, and I'm going to do the Moseley Bar and Kitchen team player, because Adam always does that. I get a chance there. But I'm going to get you, I'm going to delegate.
Okay.
I'm going to get you to do Neomorph Mouthguard's magic moment.
Sounds fun. Okay. Impress me, boys. You could have a mouthguard.
The moment that gets us most excited, the only trick is, the way we do it, is it has to be the winning team.
Okay.
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 folks, you're being led into the inner sanctum here in our camera booth. But, of course, Lockie gets his chance to call some footy in a second. I'll throw to you at the sign. Teams are making their way to their respective ends. You can see the crowd, of course. There is a... can I have a second whinge?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Facebook, AFL says there's Saturday afternoon footy in Adelaide because, of course, Port Adelaide are playing. Let me give a news flash to the AFL. There's Saturday afternoon in Adelaide every week, and it's called the Adelaide Footy League, and we've been doing it for 112 years, so possibly even longer. But whinge over, I've got it out of my system. We're ready to go. Top-ranked Glenunga, third-ranked Port District, thanks to Filming Footy, and your caller to get us underway. We're set to looking for the TV light from the camera. Is Lachlan Gould. Go, Lockie.
Here we go. Lycett and West about to do battle in the centre of Webb Oval here in Glenunga. It's going to be a fantastic day for football. Port District's taking on Glenunga. And we're away. Ball goes up. Lycett gets the tap down. Davis is there. Umpire says that one's going to be mine. We're going to have a ball up.
Notice it took 2 district players to stop him.
Yeah. He's got a massive frame on him, doesn't he, Phil? As Lycett gets the tap this time. Ball bounce is collected by Glenunga at the back. Oh, that's a good tackle. Umpire says holding the ball, and it is going to go the way of the Port District Football Club. Inside forward 50 now. The drilling ball bounces past everybody. No one able to collect at the back. Tackle laid. And we're going to have a ball up, Phil.
Yep, so an early forward 50 for Port Districts. I think did I see a 36 running around there?
Yeah, you did.
I did. Did I see a 36 on my team list? It doesn't take long. It's usually within the first 45 seconds you find a player we haven't got. Meanwhile, here comes the Rams suffocation. What do you think, Archie? So good. They've got over 50,000 5-star reviews. Ball up, 30 metres out. If you've just joined us, you've missed 30 seconds. And our fantastic pre-game show. As Jack Machette gets a tap. Port District trying to work it through. There was Mitch Gaffney in there with some hands. Oh, what a bad croc over bounce. Does that set somebody up? A chance for Jack Gaffney in spills over bounce. Gaffney wants last disposal. It doesn't work as Nathan Grimer is already. That's just him warming up the voice. You get that all day.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to, well, I guess insider knowledge from the coaching stuff. But I think everyone's going to get it as we go back to the footy. Tap down this time, collected, and the ball goes towards the wing. Lycett's there, playing behind the footy. Ball bounces past everybody. It was a cruel bounce. Collected almost in the end by Gaffney. Cleared by Glenunga inside forward 50. Only player back, though, is Haynes, who takes a good mark and flicks towards the outer side field.
Yeah, no, that red hair anywhere. Joey Haynes heads for the western wing. So the eastern wing. Into the breeze. It's a race for pace. Everyone was on the other side. Davis, well, he got rid of his first opponent. Brought to ground without the ball for mine. Umpire in agreement. Will be Glenunga ball. You can just see the trees in the back. First time I've been to Webb Oval this year, and I've noticed that the Rams have introduced some signage on the other side just to sort of separate things a bit. Quite a good thing. And, of course, TV game going worldwide. Why not? As that's a good grab. And taken at 40, at 55 to the hot spot. Good courageous mark taken by Ditters. Port District's with it. And that is Sam Gray. Umpire will pay the free kick. Port District with the ball. And umpire says, bring it back. As Matty Rose didn't go back over his mark.
We're going to come all the way back then. Just bouncing back into position. Now it is in the hands of Matty Rose, of course, South Adelaide champion. Spent many years at the Samford level. He's shouting instructions. I think he's looking to go straight up the middle here. So there it is. Just a punt that ends up in the hands, however, of the Glenunga player in Carlo Vasitis. Goes up, and now they've got some run in as Pridden steps and puts it inside forward 50. Everyone flew. Ball bounced out the back, collected in the end by Port District. Ball back in the hands of Gaffney. He then loads up and sends it out towards the wing. Bouncing footy collected on the half volley. And that one's going to be held up, and we are... Oh, no, it did get out, so now they're away, almost. Ball bouncing. Rose is coming to tackle the player that received the football. And the umpire says that one is going to be mine after the gang tackle.
Well, 4 minutes gone, no score. I expected it to be a low-scoring affair. We expected the last time they played it to be low-scoring, and Glenunga got to 150. So a reasonable crowding, given we do have Port District's probably not going to be a lot of visiting fans here because their allegiance is tested with the Power playing this afternoon. Going to be a throw-in. Half-forward flank for Glenunga. No one's really had a shot on goal in anger. Forward 50 is about 4-2 in favour of Glenunga. I'm not keeping track. I've learned I can't keep stats in footy and call. Just Adam does it. That's fine. And Adam, hope you're enjoying your assignment at the moment as Batty brought to ground straight away. That was by Zach Smith. And we'll go again.
Ball goes up. No one able to make clean contact with the footy. Does now end up in the hands of Glenunga. Davis gives it across. And then the ball's just sent into a little bit of orbit. The bouncing footy. No one able to collect it though. Footy's a cruel game sometimes with the bounce. Collected in the end by Haynes. Everyone just bowls each other over until charging through came Fahey. Collected and cleared by Port Districts. Up the line. Lycett's there. He's not involved directly in the contest. The ball just ends up in the hands of Davis. And then he's cleared in the end by Machette.
Machette to centre half forward where pack flies. No one can take the mark. It's bouncing towards the Glenunga goal. Trying to stop proceedings is Nash Haynes. That's Haynes with a Y as opposed to Joseph Haynes, who's Haynes with an I. And in the end, is this a free kick? No, umpire's ball. As close as Glenunga have got to goal so far, right in the barbecue pocket here at Webb Oval. Hope to visit that at some time. We get a half-time break. This time it's Batty, who's known as a forward, making the defensive tackle. And that's on Thomas Bilby. In fact, Batty's got himself a free kick out of it. Assesses his options. Comes our way. The broadcast van on the western wing. Dumped out of bounds. 6 minutes gone, and both teams, to be honest, just feeling each other out. Glenunga with most of the attacking, but no scores yet.
Yep. Half a dozen to one and 2 dozen to the other in terms of how this game's placed at the minute. Score still locked away like a little bit of a soccer score as a 0-0. Ball rolls past both ruckmen. No one able to get it clear at the minute. It's a good tackles late in the end by Gaffney. That's Mitchell variety. Might have won himself a free kick. He did. Player on the mark's going to be Fahey. Just looking to assess his options at the minute. Doesn't have a lot to go to, so just decides to pound it long down towards the wing. That half-forward area. Big fly! No, he wasn't able to hang on to it. As at the back comes Gaffney. And inside, Lycett got both hands to it, but it was punched away at the final moment. Hawkins was there, bounced off his knee. Collected in the end by Dwyer. Back towards goal. Bouncing footy. No one able to make clean contact in the end. It is Smith who's first on it. And that's in the back. It's going to be a free kick, Phil.
That's the relief of Glenunga. That's as close as Port District have got the goal. They're getting closer. We might have a score by the time we get to quarter time. 7.5 gone. Donuts on the scoreboard thus far. About 16 degrees here in Adelaide. The breeze was going to be... Oh, yes. It's just feel the van move. Glad we don't have commentator Cam on our producer at the moment. Anyway, I was about to say, surely my weight would anchor this fan if nothing else. But Glenunga's kicking inside 50. Here's a chance. They've got a bit of open space. They've got a couple of numbers. The hand pass comes out to Harry Prosser, who lines up the goals, and we have a major. I'm going to celebrate each one like a Brazilian soccer commentator. We got a goal. And it's Glenunga, 1 straight 6. Port District yet to score.
There's a fantastic goal as you see on the replay here, the bouncing footy.
The dartfish replay.
The dartfish replay, absolutely. And the hand pass was perfect to set up Prosser, who then was able to convert. And high fives all round. They're away here, Phil.
Just having a look at that kick, it didn't look like it deviated a lot off the boot. We didn't get a great look at the angle. And from what I'm seeing so far, I don't think the breeze is hampering either team plus or minus. Kicks are still getting reasonable penetration.
Ball back in the middle, trying to come charging through now. In the end was Gray. Collected on the half volley by Smith, but he's tackled. Ripped off the top there is Hawkins. And the ball's thrown back on the 50. Ball goes up. No one able to grab the footy until it did in the end end up in the hands of Hawkins. Hawkins' ball inside forward 50. The bouncing footy goes over before anyone can make any meaningful impact with it.
You excited so far, Lockie?
I am absolutely having the best time.
We have had a goal, to be fair. Web Oval can be a little bit like this, especially when these two do get together. The two fairly defensively minded teams, Port District's 2022 premiership was based on being the best defence in the competition, and Glenunga sort of mirrored that in 2023. In the grand final, they lost to PAC. Well, it wasn't exactly the highest scoring affair, as grand finals tend not to be, because defence wins championships.
Yeah, forwards are always the favourite players, but it's the defences that win premierships, Phil. As the ball's cleared, goes up the line. Oh, that was a strong mark in front by Davis. He then loads up, sets it towards the pocket area, and is coming across, and the behind was scored. So the Rams open their points tally as well. They're now 117. Port District's yet to score.
Harry Prosser is first, kicked 2 goals last week. 22 for the season, is the sole scorer. Well, besides that, we're going to call that one a rush behind or a...
It looked rushed.
Yeah, it sort of thumped off the Davis kick, wasn't it? And certainly the Glenunga in particular getting some distance with their kicks. And that one may be holding up a little bit in the breeze. We did note that Davis, when he won the toss, chose to go to the left of screen, which you do if you think that's the breeze. As Port District, another attack. Lyset onto Gray, the export Adelaide players to the top of the square, crashing the pack well, was Louis Sharrod to create the contest. And Dwyer takes it around the boundary. Will be a throw in. 11 minutes gone. Glenunga with the first goal, but this Ditters are within 40 metres of maybe a quick reply.
All about to come in. As you mentioned, about 40 metres away from the Port goal. All punched away. Collected almost by Gray, but it bounced over the top of his head. So the door was open for Glenunga as they go up the wing. Davis coming. Decided to go with the double fist instead of the attempted mark. We'll give it across, and then up the line it goes. It's going to go out, though.
Yeah. Anything down this boundary line is out of bounds on the full territory. That was by Deinhoff, the hand pass by Cooper Gaffney. So you can see a little bit of our blind spot. As thankfully we've got a TV and a camera that covers that. And you can just see those shadows. It is a beautiful scenic oval, the gum trees lining both sides. We've got the soccer field and then the club rooms, then here and then the high school just to the south, a multi-community educational setup here. As Glenunga trying to go forward, Davis went down and got him sort of taken off the ball when he didn't really have it. In the end, this should be a stoppage. No pro opportunity. Just a question for you, Lockie. You're a man who keeps track of the AFL more than I do. Have you caught up this change of interpretation of holding the ball? Have you sort of understood it, studied it?
I've done both. I understand and I study it, and I understand why the AFL have made that change. What annoys me is that they changed the interpretation midway through the season. Yeah. So it makes it difficult for the players to adjust, and I think that's why we're seeing so much confusion around it. We saw it Saturday night.
Yeah, well, in theory, Adelaide Footy League runs the same rule book, just possibly we do interpret the game a little bit differently. And you're starting to call footy at all sorts of different levels, ages, sexes, suburban footy, state footy. One day you'll call some AFL probably, Lockie. And same rule book, just the way we interpret. Meanwhile, we got a free off the ball. Michael McMahon has it. He's a pretty critical... he's the leading goal scorer for the Rams with 22, including 2 last week, in Glenunga's 70. Talk about demolitions. Port District 86 against the Gullies. Glenunga. See, now that kick was exactly where I would have put it and let the wind bring it back, but it didn't in the end behind. So 1-2 Glenunga. Port yet to score. The longer that stays, the more worrying that might get.
Yes, certainly. The wind may be just playing almost a placebo effect, if you know what I mean. It's there and then it's not there, and it's not pulling the footy back as much as we thought it would.
But I'm looking at the top of the gum trees and they're blowing all over the place. So maybe he did just pull it a little bit too shallow. We'll see.
Meantime, Zethus with the footy. He then sends it towards the wing. Few fly, Lyset off hands. He was able to throw it at the back of the pack. It was pretty clever as Kennett.
Yeah, it was so clever. It went straight to the opposition. Sorry, Lockie.
Full back, and there's a strong mark taken in the pack. And he was able to hang on to that one in the end.
I think Glenunga's game's pretty simple. It's the Harry Prosser who scored the first one off a hand pass and a snap. This one he gets a chance to think about it a bit more.
Sometimes that's not what you want, though, necessarily.
I was about to say, some players, it's okay. Other players, probably the less they think and the more they go with the natural. We're going to get a great view of it here. Your filming footy crew will get a good idea of the breeze. Call it home, Lockie.
Prosser on the approach. It's coming back, shaping nicely. He's got 2, Phil. And that is the way you want to start if you're Glenunga. They're 2-2-14. Port District's yet to score.
Perfect positioning. I mean, you don't want it centering off the boot. You want it centering when it's going over the goal line. Well, have a look at this kick on our Dartfish Footy Stats replay. That's over the goal umpire's hat. It's like a golf shot, reading the green beautifully, the left turn bias. And, well, Glenunga have come out and scored the first 2, and you might say, well, 2 goals, so what? This kind of game against this sort of team, Port District need the next one.
Lyset to do battle with West. Lyset taps it down, but however it's gone to Gaffney as Gaffney sends it in towards full forward. 4 Port Districts collected and a strong tackle laid.
Centre clearances, 3-0 Port District.
There we go. Something to keep in mind, I think. So even though they're winning out the centre, their entries inside forward 50 might be their problem. What's letting them down. Ball just bounces and sits on top of the ruckman's head. No one was able to get it out. Lyset on hands and knees. As the ball is then collected by District. Ball bouncing, and here goes Pridham running along and kicks inside forward 50. He's got a one-on-one. Haynes doing well defensively collected. Here's Mick Naman, and he's kicked the goal as well.
McMahon read the bounce better. Managed to somehow get Joey Haynes off his back. We'll see this on the Dartfish Footy replay. And when he had the ball in his hands, he had a very easy goal. But I love the way Glenunga are going direct, Lockie. Have a look at this bounce. Yeah, perfect positioning. McMahon knew it was going to come in board a little bit more. Haynes maybe overcompensated for the breeze. Tried to get breeze side of it, and it didn't sail that far. And so you can see on the Hahn zero carb, great taste, how good scoreboard. Hopefully that's not the name of our scoreboard. It is the Hahn scoreboard, 3-2-20. So nothing.
Yeah, District's in a lot of trouble currently. As the ball is underneath everyone at the minute. The Lungarans.
Yeah, you can see our filming footy van in between the 2 coaches' benches. We're keeping them separated for now.
Ball goes up. It was Lyset with the tackle. However, the ball's in the hands of Davis. He's always a good user. Ball drops, punched away at the last second, but it was a strong mark.
Now, I need to see this number again because I thought it was 38. Might be 39, might be Bo Schwartz.
That's Schwartz. He's got the footy.
Yeah, kicked 3 goals. Back from Oyen. Oyen Footy Club. It's a fascinating oval. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a sec because we'll focus on this for a moment. Call it home, Lockie.
Schwartz. Kicks true. And they've got 4, the Rams. They are fast out and certainly bearing their horns. They're 4-2-26. Port Districts, they're 3 donuts.
It's at Oyen, they have these bollards of players in footy uniforms. Okay? And back in the day, Oyen was a footy league. And over time, as people left, as agriculture became less and less people, less and less, density of people, more and more machinery and larger farms, the footy teams in the area all died off. And now there's one, Oyen United, and it shows all the different footy clubs that merged into each other over time. Worth a look if you're ever in an Oyen. The oval is just off the intersection of the Highway 12 and the Calder Highway. Go and check it out, as Bo Schwartz did for 5 games where he kicked 13 goals.
Not a bad little return. Oh, that's definitely high. And that is going to go the way of Port Districts. Rose gets it inside forward 50, but strong defensively again. Smith doing what he does best. Decides to flick towards the outer side. He's got Pridham. Pridham takes the mark. He's going to find some overlap play from a teammate in Temmie. Temmie then goes and gives it across to Wiseman. Ball bouncing, collected, and Districts might come the other way.
Really impressed by when Glenunga get the ball defensively. They're not coming down the flanks. They are going strong, direct, long, quick. As Wiseman with the pick up. And is that going to be paid a mark? It is going to go the way of Port District. You'd be a little shell-shocked. They held the Rams scoreless for about 7 minutes. And since then, it's been all Glenunga.
Sharrod with the footy.
And you'd think only so much of this is Mitsiris, who was the lad who had his head taken off about 2 minutes ago. Good to see he's up and taking a mark and able to have an effective kick to Cooper Gaffney, who's on the centre wing on the outer side in front of some of those advertising bollards that are put up on the day and then taken down, because this is a community oval that becomes a school oval as soon as the Rams juniors finish Sunday night. Gets a lot of use. It's a little bit like Goodwood Oval, and we saw that as well with a Payneham Millwood Unions Oval. One oval for a lot of teams.
Yeah, they all do that. I think a few of the ovals certainly around the state are used by multiple people. As the ball's collected by Davis, and that's going to go almost out by, but Gray was able to stop it as Gray then turns, snaps back inside, and a fantastic leaping grab taken by Passini.
So Daniel Passanini, he thinks he can kick it. And to be honest, he's got a bit of the breeze at his back. I'm just thinking he's going to approach it. It's going to be tricky. If it's a straight easterly, he's got to aim sort of for the left behind post and watch it swing across. It's not easy. He puts it up, which lets the breeze take it, and it's tapped across the line. That is a score to Port District, but it's only a behind. They're one. The Rams are 4-2, 26.
Ball in the end has ended up over the back here as the Rams come down the wing again. Inside forward 50, ball bouncing. Haynes is first back, but he's not going to get there as it goes over and out.
How quick was that?
Blink of an eye, I bet 2 kicks, I think, if that.
So there must be some breeze blowing to the north end. We'll know in about 20 minutes when Port District have a crack at it.
We certainly will. Ball almost collected, and in the end it was cleared in the end by Haynes. He then goes up the line. It's a good mark taken by Hawkins.
So we've got 2 Hawkins out there. Harry wearing 15. This is Broden wearing 19. He heads towards the southwesterly flank. Finds Sam McKay. Too far out to score. This is where Port District have fallen down so far without a target. And again, Zach Smith is just an absolute magnet in defence. I reckon he's been part of every repelling of every Port District inside 50 so far.
Ball on the outer side now. Glenunga in possession. Oh, snapped at one he probably should have taken, then controlled nicely by Wiseman. Bouncing footy slapped away at the last moment by Ferns. And now Haynes is able to find a teammate a little bit further up the ground. Ball bounces past him as Wiseman, who's been involved pretty heavily in the last couple of minutes, sets it towards the hot spot. At the back, it's going to be the other Haynes. It's going to be Nash Haynes who's tracking it and collects it. And now they're going to come down the near wing Port Districts.
You thought they could be brothers because they both got the red hair, but as I said, names are spelled differently. The kick along the western wing and looking for Batty. And if it's not a Glenunga defender getting you, it's the bounce of the footy. And in the end, good recovery from Jack Machette to ensure it out of bounds in front of some Port District faithful there in the deck chairs. And a bit of sunshine for the moment. Enjoying their footy. Hope you are too.
I am having the best time, and we hope you guys that are watching along on the stream as well, with a thanks to Filming Footy, having a great time as well watching what's going to be a fantastic game of football as Davis is tackled. Ball almost gets out and does now. Collected in the end by Hawkins, who then sends it back in the side forward 50, but it's collected by Temmie, who does the mark and just slows down.
Well, it's 23 and a half gone. 4 goals kicked, so probably another 4 minutes maybe of time on. There's a fly taken by Moddy Statch, but off hands out of bounds. You notice that they've coned off Nathan Grimer's area, so he doesn't. So he knows his place.
It reminds me a bit of Jose Mourinho when he comes running out on the touch line.
Yeah, probably coaching the Blue, back in the day. All right, tap forwards. I reckon Port District are doing all right with the ruck taps, but they're not able to convert it at the moment into anything scoring-wise. Cooper Gaffney getting arrested. Well, we got, okay. drink responsibly, young man. I'm sure that was red cordial that he was holding up.
I think it was too, Phil.
A dark red cordial.
Raspberry, I'm pretty sure.
Thankfully, that's not sponsored by anybody. That would be a little bit tricky. Anyway, 25 points. We're probably at that point of the game where we're already starting to take note of amusing things. James Paddy's got a free. Now, some days Paddy would say, I can kick this. Here's a lead. That's how you do it. And yes, special comment by the super coach. Scott Lysett has got it. Now, he's kicked 4 goals in 10 games. He kicked 1 goal with the Magpies last year. Didn't play a lot of footy last year. We're going to be right behind it. Let's see what it's like with the breeze. You still see that umpire next to the, I assume that's the goal. No, actually, that's the behind post. Probably aim towards that goal umpire a little bit, maybe half the way. Let's see. Can Ruckman kick? Oh, can Ruckman kick? Can Ruckman kick? They can. And Ditters Nation breathes a sigh of relief because Port District are on the board with a major.
Well, it took the star recruit, Phil, and there it is. The Dartfish replay showing it just coming back in the breeze. And the team get around the big man. Scotty Lysett on the board as our Port Districts 4-2-26 plays 1-1-27 on the Hahn scoreboard. Speaking of which, I'm looking forward to going home and having a Hahn as well after this one wraps up.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do that just yet. Maybe tomorrow. Got some other duties on afterwards. But Lockie, I do apologise. I won't be there to have a 5th quarter with you after to celebrate your debut, not with the microphone as such, but debut in the van today. So just as Port District were thinking, hey, we could kick 2 in a row, the siren goes and it is quarter time. And that goal just gives you a feel, maybe a change of ends, maybe a change of breeze might get Port District back in it. But as we stand, it is a 19-point lead. Port District 117. They trail Glenunga 4-2-26. When we come back, we'll get some thoughts, we'll get some scores around the ground, and we'll have the second quarter. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
We've been housemates for, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. There are your huddles at the moment in their respective groups. If you can see clearly enough, look at the top of those gum trees at the end, and they are still blowing quite strong. It is gustily, and it is certainly blowing into the van from times. We can certainly feel that. The impact on this game remains to be seen. But Lockie, what did you take out of that first quarter?
I thought Glenunga's, the way they were attacking, I thought that was really good, to be honest, just to go straight up the line, use the footy. The best way to go is straight through the corridor, and they were having an absolute field day. But then I thought Port District, they were able to gather back, they were able to gather themselves a little bit into that quarter and start this fight back, and now they're kicking with the win. So this second quarter is going to be absolutely fantastic, I think.
Okay, so I've got some scores around the grounds bar. We always have an issue with Sacred Heart at the middle school, so it's at the senior school. Okay, well, I'll try again. Payneham Norwood Union at Perderinga against Teacher Galley lead by 11 points. Broadview lead Prince Alfred 26 to 16. That's 10 points. And Golden Grove have got an early advantage over Brighton by 21 points, 25 to 4. I will get a chance to have a look. I'll go searching for Shock and Spock. Be fun calling that one. A little bit later when I get a chance. The goal scorers here for the respective sides are 2 to Prosser. He kicked the first 2 goals to McMahon and Bo Schwartz. And the single goal scorer, Scott Lysett, which was a big one for Port District.
We've got a score, 26 minutes, the quarter time break. It is 9 points to Spock, 8 points to Shock. So there you go.
Okay. That's like a lacrosse game rather than a footy game, but okay. So our leaders at the moment, Glenunga, Payneham, Sacred Heart, Broadview, and Golden Grove. Of course, quarter time scores are important, not as important as the final scores, which we hope to get to you, although it looks like we're running a little early ahead of the others. Look, some other observations from mine, that Port District are doing pretty well in ruck. Their problem is when Glenunga get the ball. You mentioned their attacking movement. There's a lot of one-on-ones inside forward 50. Port District, when they go inside forward 50, there's a lot of players. Even that one with Lysett, he led very well, resting up forward. And as Coach Grimer added to our commentary, the man on the mark probably should have been a little bit more active, putting his hands up and not allowing that worm burner kind of kick. I'm sure a point that he may well have emphasised again at the quarter time break.
Yeah, it's those 1% things, isn't it, Phil, that just kill coaches. Putting your hands up on the mark is so simple, but it cuts off so many options.
Still got a pretty good hair, I think, right? Of course, Sturt coach as well. I always reckon he was a bit unlucky at Sturt because just the timing of COVID and the culling of a lot of assistant positions, and suddenly there's really good accredited assistant coaches out there, including one who won a premiership for Sturt. So, but he's playing his trade here, and certainly his impact has been profound. Let's see if Port District can be profound in the second quarter. You are with Lachlan Gould.
Back in the middle, Lysett this time gets the tap down to himself. He's able to find Hawkins. All just bounces collected, came steaming through in the end. Was the 36 as it's collected by Temi on the.
Now, if we had a banjo rider, we'd send them out and say, "Who's 36?" And we'd know by now.
Ball collected, snap on goal. That's really good. What a fantastic finish that is.
Pretty sure that's Harry Prosser again.
He's got his third here, Prosser.
Yep. We'll just check the Dartfish footy stats replay.
And the footy comes. Punched away.
Yep.
And it was Prosser.
It was Prosser for 3.
Well, if he needs, it's cold out there. If he needs a beanie, he's certainly well on his way.
Well, he's got half a chance. And we'll take offers and suggestions. Of course, our Bandry. There's our Bandry. No Bandry rider today, thanks to Police Credit Union sponsor the Bandry rider. We don't have them to thank for there not being one, but we do thank Police Credit Union. We thank Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic as well, supporting the interchange, which will get a fair work over before the half time. Oh, look at those beautiful tea sauces all in a row there. We go to the middle. Port District have won most of the taps, most of the centre clearances, and our Phantom 36 is at it again. This time, those hand passed it to Temi. I do wonder, corner of eye stuff, the similarities of the jumpers. I'm looking at the TV and it looks very similar. I'm looking at the ground and it looks very similar. I'm not sure what it's like really up close, but boy, oh boy. I don't know. I've already had a whinge about it, so maybe I'll just let the matter lie. Let the matter lie. Abe Davis? No. I think it was Pridham's free. I think he hand passed to Davis, went for a long kick, but it's marked nicely by Joey Haynes, and Ditters are trying to clear down the eastern wing.
Ball bouncing. Collected in the end. Came charging through was Batty. He was unable to get far, though, before he was stopped. Gaffney, as they just kind of work it forward here. Hawkins sends it inside forward 50. Big punch away. And it's going to go over the boundary line. It's going to be thrown in. We're about a stone's throw from the 50 towards the left of the screen. Of course, the end that Port District are now kicking at.
Well, they haven't had an inside 50 yet. Gone only 2.5 minutes gone to the quarter, but we'll see what they can. They have now, I guess.
Yeah, it's in there. That certainly counts as an inside 50 as the tackle made sure that Carla Vasitis was going absolutely nowhere.
Yep, scoreboard updated at quarter time. We have had we have had the one goal to Glenunga in the first 2 minutes. And that's an important one. If there is a breeze advantage to the left, any goals to the right will be absolutely critical.
They're almost worth 12 points, aren't they?
They are.
Ball's going to go up meantime. Inside the Port District's forward 50 collected. Tried to come charging through, wasn't able to do anything with it though. Well, he was wrapped up by Davis. Ball back in the same position just about. Slapped down. No one able to quite win it out as Davis tries to go charging through. It takes about 8 of them to stop him.
Now, I wonder about that. I mean, he was actually deemed to be taken high. It is like trying to, rodeo a bull, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, they may be the Rams, but he's more a bull, isn't he?
He is. And I say that in every element of positivity I can. It's not there's that kick. Yeah, you can see the breeze. That one is held up. We're in the middle. There's a lotter in the middle. Prosser is kicked 3 goals, comes in and lays the tackle. So it is Port District are getting their hands on the ball a lot, but escaping out of the defensive structures. West battling Lysett, the former Eagle against the former Magpie. Out of there, I think that was Rose who got the kick away. Every time Port District got the ball, they've got a ram right on their hammer and tack. And now, Jack Gaffney gets to return the favour with a hard tackle. Spills to Broden Dawkins towards the pocket. Bouncing footy, Smith concedes. And Port District saying, isn't that deliberate? But don't they know they're in the Adelaide Footy League? And I appreciate Lockie. In the Adelaide Footy League, deliberate out of bounds does not exist. Last disposal does, but we've never had deliberate out of bounds ever, apparently.
Oh, there you go. I don't mind that, actually. As the ball slapped down.
It's always good to take some grey and make a bit of black and white out of it.
As it's collected, Batty, his snap on goal is well shallow of what he intended. Did come off hands, I think, in the end.
Everything under pressure. Now, without wanting to sound too much like the professor of point analysis, Tony Neal. G'day, Tony, if you're watching. I'm interested to see what Glenunga... And have a look at this kick. Huge kick. Has made it to the centre wing. Look away, hand pass. That's class from Parsons to Prosser. And just like that, Rose Schwartz is going to have a shot on goal. The direct movement, the long kicking from Glenunga is leaving Port District chasing shadows at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I was just going to mark as well, that kick was into the breeze, so that makes it even more impressive.
Well, I'm still trying to work out if there is a breeze. I saw one high kick, maybe those ones, but that kick out to the centre wing was absolutely massive. Must have hit the sweet spot, as is Schwartz is trying to do right now. From just inside 50, he started left to swing right. He's dobbed it. Glenunga have their 6th. Schwartz has his 2nd. And they're starting to roll, the Glenunga Rams. 6-2. That's 38. Port District are 1-8. 2-0 to the right of screen this quarter.
And we find ourselves in a very similar position now, Phil, that we did from the first quarter, where it was Glenunga who got the fast start. And now it is up to Port District to try and pull themselves back into this contest. I wouldn't make the argument they got themselves back into it by quarter time. It was a 21-point margin, but they certainly steadied the ship a little bit as back in the middle we go. Ball tapped down. Oh, there's the karate kick out of there. As it might work out. Good tackle, though. Came charging down and got his man in the end. Play on, says the umpire. Pridham's kick spins on a little bit of an odd shape because it was touched, and it's back with Pridham now. Well collected by Cheeseman. Inside forward 50. They steady. Here's another one.
Bilby.
And it is the goal kicker in Bilby. So he gets his first as this Rams party continues to roar on. 7-2-44. Port 1-2-8.
That score on the Han. 0 carb. Ultra taste. How good. Scoreboard. The dart fishery. I mean, look, some teams, they take that mark, they'll stop and they'll think about it. Glenunga have got the ball. They just move. They just go, go, go. As you can see, look, there is a breeze now to the other side because you saw that throw up, swing right. It's like Glenunga have had it both quarters, or at least that's the way they're playing. Port District have it momentarily. Again, under pressure is Matty Rose towards that pocket. That's not going to be touched. That's not going to be touched till it hits the barbecue. And it'll be last disposal, Glenunga ball.
It's going to be in the hands of the Rams. I was going to ask Phil, last time out these two teams played each other on Anzac Day, Glenunga got a massive win. And it's coming in his West. Big punch from Lyset, though, to get rid of the footy out of the area. They got the win. It was a convincing win. If they go and do it again and they beat Port Districts by a massive margin, you can't really call it a fluke. Does that send a massive message to the rest of the competition?
Well, Port District are in this interesting, what I call no man's land at the moment, where they're a game and a half ahead of the 4th and 5th and that logjam. And their recent performances, look, a big win against Tea Tree Gully, they've got a draw. So unless there's more draws, percentage isn't a big thing. But they're also 2.5 games behind second. So today we'll sort out, will the top 3 tighten, or will Port District Port District at some point are either going to be one of the elite or they're going to be one of the leader of the pack. And right now, it looks like they're going to be leader of the pack.
Yeah, they're going to be the best of the rest almost after Glenunga and
best of the rest finals. Tea Tree Gully last year got in with an 8-win, 10-loss record and got hot when it mattered most. Ousted Port District, ousted Sacred Heart, got to the prelim with an 8-10 record. So, we're still 7-8 weeks from finals. So, you don't write off a season just yet.
Good example of getting hot is the Doggies in 2016 finished 7th and ended up winning the flag.
Western Bulldogs in that other competition they call footy, yep. Sorry, you'll get to enjoy my AFL stances.
Shat, meantime, up the line as we return to the action.
Yeah, we probably should.
Shouldn't we just? Gaffney Cooper this time. He's got the footy at half back. Ball this time down the line. Oh, that was a fantastic mark in front of
right.
McKay inside forward 50, turns towards the hot spot. No, it's going to be a behind. So Port District for the second time this quarter are on the scoreboard. 139, Rams 7-2-44.
That was relatively quick movement inside 50. If that was Glenunga, though, there would have been a runner and they would have been off straight away. And sometimes just, couple of seconds different maybe makes a difference. So Lyset has to go down and get it, which he does. Nice handball out. A little slight fumble. Didders will get the kick away. The wind will take it towards the boundary, but there's a strong grab. I mean, the Districts are winning some battles, no doubt about it. Broden Hawkins kick. Looking for Jack Gaffney. It's going to be Broden Hawkins kick downfield, I would assume. Not often you see the player field get the FAD, but that's the case here. He's going to back himself, and I can see why, because the man on the mark is just inside 50. Aim for that. Oh, yeah, got too close to the man on the mark in Lincoln Bennett. And in the end, a holding on free will go... No, it's umpire saying my ball. My apologies. Oh, no, it was a free kick. I was right the first time. Broden Hawkins is going to get a second shot. I'm not sure why.
Take it.
Yes. Hold the man. Okay, so it wasn't anything to do with his last one. This time he'll take a further step back. Unleashes a long kick, which has the distance, but didn't compensate enough for the win. It's a behind to Port District. They are 1-4 10. The margin is 34 points. Glenunga 7-2-44.
Ball kicked out towards the wing. Big pack forms off hands. Pridham's involved. He's immediately met by Rose, who's going nowhere. Ball up here near side, around about 2 or 3 metres away from us. Don't need the monitor at the minute as Lysette gets the tap down towards Rose.
I'll tell you what, when you go back calling some other football and you don't have the monitor, you really miss it. But nothing but the best for you here today, Lockie, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Sammy Gray with the clearing kick. Again, the ball takes a funny bounce. It's a hard, dried-out oval today. Gray again, doing his own laundry. Bounce, trying to get away from Zach Smith. He's been excellent in defence. This time concedes a behind. And, Port District so far this quarter have kicked 4 behinds. The Rams have kicked 3 goals straight.
I was going to say, I have enjoyed Smith's game in defence so far. I thought he's been really good for Glenunga, stopping off some Port District's attacks. Meantime, towards the top, Lysette came over the top, the double fist towards Rose. Rose then snaps it in towards forward 50. Big fist over the top, though, when it's going to be a free kick.
I've come to the conclusion that this is a short ground because that kick was held up in the breeze and came down almost vertical, right in the centre circle. As that's a shot from Batty, again, lacking the compensation for the breeze. The 6th behind. I'm not sure if my producer is quick or not. 6 behinds, yep. So that's 5 behinds. They've had the breeze. They've had 5 shots.
Ball kicked out. Scores 7-2, 44-1-6. Is over the top. That's a strong mark to turn the footy around by Moody Starch. He then reloads inside forward 50 at the back though. Strong defensive mark taken by the player in Scott. Scott then loads up towards the wing.
They're kick to kick, aren't they?
They are. Off hands. Might get stopped, but it was grabbed, but not before the player crossed the line
Number 36,
as well.
what's your name?
I might go find out at half time.
If you could. It would be good to know. Yeah. Had that with a Broadview player with Adam the last time you went with us at Bright. But anyway, Matthew Rose. Because, I mean, they do make... We do, by the way, check numbers, folks, but occasionally there is a late change that we don't get notified of. Other clubs do let us know. Lovely work by Matty Rose. Wrap it up, Declan Fay. And for that, Rose will be rewarded with the footy. Lysette sort of provides a screen. I'm not sure if that's particularly legal, that allowed Rose to get away a little bit. You're sort of in that protected area. If that was a Glenunga player, it would have been 50 kind of thing, or 25 in the Sandford. Anyway, it's a ball up. Port District need a goal, and they need it pretty quickly, Lockie.
They certainly do. This game's starting to slip away as the Rams rampage continues across the Adelaide Footy League. Ball back towards where it came. It's going to be almost trapped, but it is, in the end, gone out.
Right near the sand pit. Now, for kids, they got a playground, but there's also a sand pit here. Why would you have a sand pit and you have this weird little track? It's actually the long jump area and the triple jump area for the school for their sports day,
of course,
which they have on these ovals.
Of course, I was always a big fan of sports day. It wasn't any good, but it was always good fun.
My favourite day of the school year. Again, it wasn't because of any athletic ability, but always a fun day. That and swimming sports day.
Oh, we did that once.
Okay, then someone.
It was good fun. I nearly drowned though.
Yeah,
Story for another time.
No pool here, at least to my understanding. Tap down. This is good. This is to Mitsara. Sorry. Now it's to Modi Statch. A couple of newish players, at least at A grade level. We do have 3 players who played C grade last year. Jack Gaffney, Liam, who played 2 games. Modi Statch played 3, and Harry Hawkins played 1 C grade game. In fact, Jack Gaffney and Harry Hawkins played Bs, Cs, and As Well, I've done that in the wrong order, but last year played all 3 levels. Back in the middle. I'm trying to get something happening here, Lockie, but it just ain't happening for me. Port District have sort of stopped the flow of goals momentarily, but they're not scoring any themselves.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of an interesting little momentum shift, I guess. Just kind of trying to hold up what's been this Glenunga dominant performance so far. The Port District's not in control, but certainly more back in the contest than they were 5 minutes ago. Oh, just a couple of smothers there in the contest as finally it does get out and it goes the way of the Rams. Inside forward 50, Haynes doing the defensive work. There were both Haynes there on your camera screen. As collected in the end by Sharad. Sharad's tackled. The calls of ball come, but no one's listening as down the wing it goes. Inside forward 50, Zach Smith's best position. Woody Starch is there. Bouncing footy, collected, snapped, and gold. And Port District, well, they've got a lifeline. It's 2-6-18, Rams 7-2-44.
Yeah. Give the assist to Scott Lysett, who provided protection. When you see this, and you'll get some really good view. That's Cooper Gaffney, who has it. And you watch here, okay, 1-on-2 contest. It was Machete was off the ball. Lysett provided the blockage without giving away the free on Smith. And that's how Port District have 2 goals on the board. It almost does like a scoreboard. It looks like kids sort of scrawling, doesn't it? 2-6-18, Glenunga 5-2-44. That's, yeah.
I don't mind it. It gives a little bit of a community
A little
vibe.
bit different. 26 points. That, of course, is on the Hahn scoreboard. Back in the middle. 18 and a half gone. You're with Lockie Gould.
Fahey up the line. He finds his teammate in Bilby. Bilby loads up. Bell bounces. No one able to grab it as Schwartz is almost beheaded. McNamara, he's got one, and it is the Rams with the quick reply. 8-2-50. Port District's 2-6-18.
Yeah, Michael McMahon becomes the 3rd multiple goal scorer of the 4 goal scorers for Glenunga, so they've got a range of targets both getting into it. Nice little work by Bo Schwartz, who drew 3 defenders. McMahon was by himself. Somehow Schwartz got the hand pass out, and after that was pretty academic. So the Rams have hit 50. They're on track for the ton here at Webb Oval. I've just decided it's just a small oval, and I feel like marching out the 50-metre arc just to see if it's actually 50. I suspect it might be 1 or 2 metres short. Again, the umpire throws the ball up and it's going to the right of screen, and then they kick it out and it's holding up in the breeze. So I've really got no idea what's happening with this wind. But Port District have it, and that one, Sam McKay kicks it on the outside of the boot. Was it touched? No, it wasn't. Glenunga ball.
It's going to come back in. Rams just waiting, see if they go quick as they have for lots of today. Instead, the long clearing kick goes towards the pack forming on the wing. Over the top, no one able to take a grab as the ball hits the deck. Collected almost in the end as Pridham goes in hard. He might have won himself a free kick. He didn't. It's going to go the other way. It's going to go the way of Sharad. So Sharad wheels inside forward 50. Pack forms. As the defensive play is displayed, but no one able to make any real impact with the footy. Meantime, Woody Starch goes to pick it up and he's tackled.
So there have been 10 goals kicked, 5 to either end. What's the scoring end? The end Glenunga are kicking to.
Seems to be the way it's going at the minute. They've got a near 6-goal lead. Woody Starch, meantime, just snaps it out of the stratosphere a little bit. That might have been a free kick.
Passanidi, I think, has got it.
And it is going to be a holding free kick. It is going to go the way of Passanidi.
So Daniel Passanidi has not kicked a goal this season. Played 5 in the league, 2 in the Rezzies. 7 goals from 13 games last year. Man who made his debut with Port District A grade in 2020.
On the approach. Kick online, and there they go. They've got a little bit of an advantage here, Port Districts. They're right on the board, 2nd goal in a row, and they might be coming back into this one.
Breeze looking ferocious above the playground area. Some of those branches are really, really rocketing back and forth with the breeze. And yeah, in those conditions, pretty good kick to nail that goal from any distance.
Fantastic effort as
So interchange happening. Batty coming on, heading back up forward. Probably won't be one of the leading goal scorers for Port District. Won't be particularly happy that they're scoring goals and he's on the bench. Not a good sign. Pridham Sockers at forward. A centre clearance for Glenunga. Rose, a good pick up and kick. Again, it's a hard deck. That ball is bouncing and bouncing all over the place. Broden Hawkins, one-on-one contest. It's a Ditter's mark. And it's Marty Statch. As mentioned, I think made his A-grade debut this season. Played 3 games in the Bs, 3 games in the Cs. But he's made a difference. 10 games played, 4 games kicked, 5 times in the best and fairest count. That's the top 5 players. And he has delivered his second goal. Port District have their first multiple goal scorer. And having been outgunned early, Port District have kicked 3 of the last 4 goals to keep it in range at 20 points.
Yeah, they have. Just having a look, Port District still winning the quarter here. They've kicked, Glenunga winning the quarter here. They've kicked 4 straight goals. Port Districts have kicked 3 goals, 5. So it's only a point the difference. Yeah. But it's certainly, in the last sort of 5-10 minutes, to tick into 23.5, gone in the second quarter, looking the advantage of the team from Largs Bay. Ball goes up and almost collected in the end by West. Bounces along, though, because the footy missed his foot. Tackles strong. Umpire says we're going to have a ball up.
There's the lad with the glass of cordial again.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a glass of cordial. We won't be hearing anything else. As
not from us.
Liar said. Full rolls past Pridham in the middle. Almost collected in the end. Strong tackle, says could have been holding the ball. Umpire let it play, though.
That's the
ball
second round down, but the first one there was a bit more time attached to it.
Ball bouncing. And no one able to pick it up until the player in Deinhoff went in to win it.
So we've got the combination of an oval that, if not a mud patch, it's not. But it is pretty chopped up and is hard. And that means a lot of interesting bounces this afternoon. Glenunga go forward and they've taken the mark. Oliver Cheeseman has it from the edge of 50, kicks to top of square, and that was too easy. If you're the Port District's coach, I say Port Adelaide coach, if you're the Port District coach, you got to say that should never be allowed to happen. That the leading goal scorer, Michael McMahon, can just come out to the top of the goal square and take pretty much an uncontested mark. He's got 2. He's kicked 22 goals for the season to lead all the Rams, plus the 2 today. And he's now got 25. One thing that has impressed me today, at least from Glenunga, Lockie, is the goal kicking.
Yeah, it's been absolutely impressive. I mean, 9 goals, 2. It's right up there with some of the straightest we've seen in the league. So certainly helping their case. 4 goals, 6 on the other side for Port. Probably means they aren't adjusting to the conditions as much as they...
Well, they have kicked 5 straight goals, in theory, to the end that doesn't have the breeze. Whereas Port District have kicked 3 goals, 5. So 8 scoring shots to 5 to Port District, but accuracy, 1 bad, not 1 excellent, has proven a difference. That's a kick. If there was clouds and rain, that would have brought it. But not to be. Zach Smith's kick doing something likewise. That's come up and down on the spot, Lockie.
It certainly has. Charging back through is a district player. Might be the elusive 36. It is. The mystery man.
It won't be a mystery for much longer. You'll be on the case at halftime.
Absolutely, I will be. As no one able to get it out until Davis did. Then that footy's intercepted. Good mark taken. As it is Ferns, who sends it up. Big pack forming over the top. Unable to hang on, though. We've had a couple of attempts for a screamer. The shake-off from the would-be tackler was pretty impressive, though. And at the back, Batty takes a nice mark.
All right, so this has suddenly turned into a shootout. We've had 8 goals kicked this quarter, having had 5 in the first. After a goalless, almost scoreless, first 7 or 8 minutes of the game. Good pair of hands to have this footy in. I know I'm going to put the mockers on him, but the leading goal scorer for Port Districts with 20 this season, James Batty. 2 last week, looking for his first today.
Batty straight through the middle, and that margin closes again. It's back to a 20-point margin, 9-2, 56. Plays Port Districts 5-6, 36. Batty on the board.
Yeah, Batty, been with the Magpies and the Eagles at times, of course. Port District, back when the Magpies had, the Port Adelaide Magpies in the SANFL had a zone. Port District almost were the Magpies C-grade side, and they've actually become the Eagles C-grade side along with a couple of others. That is now very much a part of Woodville West Torrens zone. Was originally a Henley Sharks junior, which may explain why he spent time with the Eagles. Been at Port District now since 2014 at A-grade level. That is 11 seasons. As Lysett kick quickly. Modisach has it. He's front. Batty's lurking. Batty is swamped. It's a hand pass out. It's back to Batty, who's swamped again, driven to the ground, playing for the free kick. And no, he didn't really play for the free kick. He was driven into the ground. Umpire says Fairley will be a ball up, Lockie.
Will be a ball up. Agar, the tackler on that occasion, as West does the ruck work. Pridham gets the footy to the top of the 50 arc, and Glenunga might be able to run it through the middle here. Coming hard the other way is Sharad, though. He elected to lay the bump. Bilby, though, he had disposal. Then it was given across. And inside forward 50 it goes. The bouncing footy put out in front of Wiseman. Wiseman turns, snaps. Is it going goalward? It's getting close. It's a behind.
I thought for a sec he sort of just kicked that miracle and hope, and it almost became a miracle. If not for that,
9-3-57.
that pesky defender.
Good work in the end by Haynes. He's been doing it for a while, hasn't he, Phil?
Yeah, first miss by Glenunga this quarter. Probably wouldn't really be considered a miss as such. Nash Haynes. A few hardy souls out there enjoying the blue sky day and some sun, albeit with a pretty cold breeze. I was about to say half-time is imminent, but I couldn't even get the words out. That quarter going 29 minutes and 7 seconds. It is half-time in your filming footy match of the day, Division 1 in the Adelaide Footy League, and it is the Rams looking the goods. But Port District, well, they're just hanging around. The Rams, 9-3-57. Port District, 5-6-36. That quarter, it was Rams kicked 5 goals, 1, but Port District kicked 4 goals, 5. So only lost that quarter by 2 points. You're Lockie Gould, Phil Hurd, and the Filming Footy crew. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
Do you belong in a role that drives you? In a community that makes you proud? In a team that brings out your best? You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
And welcome back. Half-time, the umpires are out. The players shouldn't be too far behind. There's your scores around half-time. Fascinating as always. So, big relegation game between Golden Grove and Bryson. Golden Grove, they win that. They could actually be in the five tonight, having almost been in relegation last week. They lead Brighton by 23 points up at the newly renovated and completed Harpers Field. At Park 9, Prince Alfred and Broadview. Pretty narrow one there. Prince Alfred leading by just the 7 points, 37 to 30. Huge upset if this holds at the senior school. Sacred Heart trailing St. Peter's. That is 10th leading second as we speak. And a big game, Payneham Norwood Union that we saw last week falling short of Sacred Heart. They would sort of start to cement a final spot. They'd start to cement themselves in the five at least if they continue that against Tea Tree Gully. Port Districts are out there, 5-6-36. Glenunga are 9-3-57. That is your game of the day score on the Hahn scoreboard. Do want to mention Filming Footy Stats powered by Dartfish. The Filming Footy Stats powered by Dartfish is your premium choice platform for local level, country, amateur league, metropolitan clubs around Australia. They provide analytical data for all sports, and in football there are over 700 coaches nationally using the Dartfish analytics to improve their coaching, provide feedbacks, analyse themselves, and importantly, analyse the opposition. The Dartfish data is unique in providing grassroots football coaches heat maps, inside 50 data, point of origin, team and individual stats, statistical leaderboards for teams and leagues, plus so much more. With Filming Footy Stats powered by Dartfish, you can watch your highlights and analyse your opponents. All of your statistics are complemented by a complete playlist package with vision to match. So if you're interested in getting, well, the intel on what you're doing and what your opponents are doing, check out Dartfish Footy Stats. Lockie Gould has appeared, and Lockie, we gave you a halftime assignment. Who? Please reveal, it's almost like the Masked Singer. Please reveal Phantom 36.
Yeah, so 36 is Hunter Carter. He was listed at 38, so we probably should have drawn the conclusion that he's 36, but he's out there now with his shoulder strapped, and he's running around. He's going to be running around in 36.
That's a good thing. If you do want to, and I've mentioned this plenty of time on here, if you want to be recognised and called, because we don't recognise everybody out there, we don't have a number. Have something unique, and shoulder taping. Wear a big pink knee brace. That would get you noticed pretty easily. Actually, looking at Port District there, there's no larrikins out there in terms of no larks, I should say. They're all wearing the white boots or the black boots. No one's gone ultra colourful. Glenunga fairly similar, although I do see a red ones. Who's got the red ones?
One of the 18s guys I interviewed wears the pink boots.
Yep. Oh, basketball. It's a part of your brand to wear different boots. I'm going to find out who that lad is at Glenunga. They're all in a tight huddle at the moment. We also went out and we did a breeze test, didn't we?
Yes.
And the breeze is definitely strong. And the leafed grass test is going to the left of screen. But Glenunga scored 5 goals into it, so it's not infallible. You got to use it.
No, it's certainly not infallible. It's a really interesting position where this game's sat now. 21 points. It was 21 points at quarter time. It's 21 points at half time. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of this quarter. They call it the Premiership quarter, and I think this game, it's going to be called the Premiership quarter for a reason. I think we're going to know if Port Districts, they're going to be against the breeze, if they're able to close it up a little bit and they're able to get their way ahead on the Hahn scoreboard, or at least trim into some of this 21-point margin, they're going to be able to really take it up to Glenunga with the breeze in the last quarter. However, on the other side, if the Rams were as good as they were in the first quarter, they're going to absolutely run away with it.
Yeah, and the lad with the pink boots, Thomas Karlovasidis. So I'll note that, pink boots, Karlovasidis. Nathan Grimers addressed his troops. We're not too far away from the start of this one. I do thank our other filming footy sponsors, which include Archie's Sandals. I better start thinking about possible best on ground. Belgravia Apparel, New Balance. And, of course, they come with the iconic Dartfish beanie. Nearmouth Mouthguards, Magic Moments so far. Hahn, the Scoreboard, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union Dartfish. And, of course, the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. All set for the third quarter. And your caller is Lachlan Gould.
I was going to say that Neomorph mouthguard is still absolutely up for grabs as we go. It's Western Lysette back in the middle on a Saturday afternoon in Glenunga. The Adelaide Hills providing a picturesque background to this one. As the ball goes inside forward 50 for Port Districts. At the back, it's Moody Starch. He weighted down. He snapped towards goal. It's across the face. It might be collected. It is collected. And it's a fantastic goal to Mazathias.
Great to see. I reckon number 32. I reckon I'll go with Mizzy Thruss. We're close. We'll put good confirmation. That's his second goal of the season. And boy, oh boy, hasn't that opened things up? Having just said, we've decided the breeze is going to the left of screen. The first goal in 40 seconds is to the right of screen. I'll play number 2. Okay. There is no number 2 out there. So we're getting conflicting signals here. 32, which is what we called. Thank you. Okay, we're all on the same page. That's good. Abe Davis with the kick. Turns around, and just like that, here comes the quick possible reply with Bo Schwartz, and he knows that he's within range if he can direct it cleanly. Schwartz. We've already, I think I've pretty much done the Oyen story to death by now. His last goal was June 20. Oh no, he kicked 18 goals last year. Oh, his last game was the 22nd of June, and he has dobbed it. He's got 3, and yeah, I think Glenunga are building. A couple of key players back, and. I mean, they weren't far off the flag last year. The top-ranked team just fell short against an absolutely class-filled Prince Alfred squad. And they look every inch more grand finalists. And what I have noticed today, Lockie, every time Port District get a slight flicker, flame of momentum, Glenunga extinguish it with a quick reply. They've done that about 3 times today.
They do. Margin 10-3 plays 6-6. Back in the middle, we're going to go Lysette taking on West. It's Lysette this time who wins the ruck tap and the clearance as the ball bounces towards the boundary line. Arriving on the scene first, though, is going to be Port District. It's Batty trying to go through. He's unable to. Collected in the end is Fahy. And he's going to be a free kick going the way of Fahy, Phil. Ball down the wing. Almost collected in the end. And it is by Pridham. Pridham inside forward 50 it goes. And that one is a fantastic grab by McMahon. So McMahon.
This would be a challenge for a few. I reckon McMahon's had a bit of practice here.
Wheels round and snaps but misses. So McMahon, no dice on that occasion. 10-4 plays 6-6.
Just the one behind. That does mean that Glenunga are winning the quarter. Port District have moved it pretty quickly. They've decided, remember how Glenunga were kicking it into the centre of the ground? Port District go one short kick, then a long kick. They're also on the wing on the outer side. Mitch Gaffney has it. He's tackled. Will be a boundary throw in or a ball up. Ball up by the looks. Pretty close to the boundary. Another tap. I mean, Lysette's been raking up the taps today. Probably Glenunga. Sometimes you can be so dominant that other teams just read off of that. As Deinhoff's kick, Port District. So where's it going here? Lovely pick up by McKay. Hand pass lacked a little bit, trying to find Mitch Gaffney. And in the end, Glenunga hold it up just outside the 50-metre arc. It is Port District 6-6-42, but Glenunga a 10-4 64.
Ball goes up. As it's tapped down. This time it is going to end up in the hands of Port District, collected almost in the end by Carter. And that might have been holding the ball. It was holding the ball. So it's going to go the way of Glenunga. And Miller Carter had some work done on his knee. He copped a big slice from one of the boots of the Glenunga players out there in the second quarter.
Ouch.
Yeah, not a nice feeling. Wheels up as the long ball inside forward 50. At the back, waiting is both Haynes, and the clearance is towards the boundary line. Over the boundary line it goes.
Yep, Glenunga have done very well with that quick inside 50 work. This time Haynes was equal to the task, ready and waiting for it. But last possession only just releases the pressure momentarily. Tom Bilby, has it. He'll centre the ball. Smart thing to do in this weather. It's about 20 metres in front, where there's probably, 12, 15 players around the ball. Just having a look, it's certainly been man-on-man football today, although having said that, I can see West is playing a kick behind the play.
Ball almost collected now, is snapping in on goal. It's shaping. It's away, though, from Fahy as he misses. 10-5, plays 6-6, a margin of 23 points here in Glenunga. Ball collected, now they are on. It was Passanidi, he gave it off. Up the line, no one able to really control it. Tapping to himself, doing well there. Port District, ball bouncing, collected, the little tap on was clever. Batty, yes! And they get another goal, it's their 7th, Batty's 2nd. And it is 7-6, plays 10-5.
First coast-to-coast play, I reckon, we've seen from Port District today. They did take the scenic route, as much as this. It's a narrow ground. It doesn't look that far here to the wings. It was a few players there involved, including Cooper Gaffney, Monty Satch, and Batty given some space. And if you give Batty some space, you're going to have some problems. So you can see here the Hahn scoreboard, 7-6-48, Glenunga 10-5-65. That's probably, along with the opening goal, as close as Port District have been in some time. What is that? 16, 17 points within 3 goals. And given Port District are coming home with what we think is the breeze, that puts them in an interesting position if they're more accurate in the final quarter than they were in the second.
Ball up in the air a little bit. Rose takes the mark and then tried to give off the handball, but his fist didn't connect with the ball. That's never helpful as Haynes at it, smothered away. He's going to go... Well, the smotherer was Bennett, but he's going to be thrown in. As we wait now. 7 minutes into this third quarter. It is Glenunga leading 65-48. Snapped out towards Glenunga's forward 50. Over the top, unable to hang on. Ball collected by Gaffney. As the ball rolls towards the boundary line. Wasn't, though, before a free kick was given away to Schwartz. In the back was the call. Schwartz wheels. Inside forward 50 through Haynes' hand. Picked up by Davis. Sidesteps one. Then gives it across. Wiseman, he's involved. And it's over the boundary line. It's going to be thrown in around about 30 to 35 metres out from the left of screen.
So it is heading quarter so far. It's head back and forth a little bit. Port District to kick the 2 goals. Glenunga the 1, and it's a Rams inside 50. Lies set. McMahon at short level. Spills to Mitch Gaffney. Puts it towards the centre. Playing in front was the Port District player. I reckon that was Dwyer. It was. And because there's only one player out there with a 7 on their back. They haven't got a 7, 27 or 37.
Ball tapped down, collected. Gray ran onto it. That was very clever. One bounce might take another. Decides against that. Drives it up the line towards Moody Starch. Defender was there to relieve, though, for Glenunga. Did well. And then got it to a teammate. Down the line. Fisted away. Carter's onto this one, though. Traps it nicely. Turns. Looks inside and then drills the footy inside. And Batty takes a grab.
Well, I wonder if you got taught that at the Port Magpies, because that was if you're kicking into a breeze, that's what you do. You do the worm burner kick. Only Batty was going to mark it. He did well to do so. And He's proving a target, something that Port District struggled with early. Successful here. He'll become a 3-goal kicker today.
One in the second, one in the third currently. As we get given some gifts. That's lovely.
The pastries have arrived. Oh, he's the president. Thank you, Mr. President.
As Batty converts, as that goes straight through. And he's got his second in the third quarter, his third for the game. And Port District, they can sniff a massive chance here.
Yep, they're coming right back at now. It's within 2 goals, 11 points. So you can see that. I mean, you couldn't have two more contrasting kicks, could you? You had Miller's worm burner, and Batty put that up like he was kicking with a 5-goal breeze, not into it. But managed to still have the strength. And I'm still not convinced those arcs are 50.
10-5 plays 8-6 back in the middle here. Lysette and West do battle. West tapped down. Might end up in the hands of Lysette, who's got a couple clearances to his name so far. That one more up than what he would have intended. Mark taken by McMahon. McMahon, thank you.
You'll have it mastered by the end of the game.
Oh,
You'll never call him again.
As the ball's almost collected in the end by Haynes, it is. He's going for a little bit of a run. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be called advantage, though, Phil.
Well, this could be the magic moment if Port District seal this. And Batty, is he deemed the mark? Umpire says yes. Okay. So Batty, who's kicked 2 goals this quarter already, is having an absolute purple patch. But he realises that his last kick barely made it, and he's a bit further around, so he's gone inboard. Spotted up, looks like Sharrod, but we're a long way away from this. It is Sharrod. Those pastries are getting closer to me. Oh, don't give me the whole tray. The apricot one looks very inviting. Sorry, folks, we won't go to commentator cam for the pastries. We will go to the footy, which is at an enthralling point because Louis Sharrod, well, he won't take the shot. They've gone for the second short pass, and I find often, Lockie, you get away with one short pass, Dranu, but very rarely you'll get up with 2. The defence wakes up eventually.
Especially against this Rams team. You probably aren't going to get away with a whole lot against them.
Nathan Grimer is not impressed.
Yeah, I've got the same feeling, going to be honest. As Davis gets it out towards the wing. Lysette, the only one back there, though. And he's going to drill it back inside forward 50. Former Port Adelaide, West Coast 2018 Premiership
You'll notice
player.
that there's barely anyone behind him. We're playing mini-league. Everybody in the Port District half of the field.
Big pack forms. No one able to drag it down. No, it was tried to be claimed in the end, but that was falling absolutely no one, including the umpire. And Davis on the bottom of that pack. Of course, reigning best and fairest for the entire competition. And it is going to be thrown back to the umpire, and with Davis taking his sweet time to get it back there. Collected. And sent out of the forward 50 line. Lysette, he grabs it, gives it across to Sharrod, who then goes back to Nash. They're still on the wing, though. Lysette involved again as Port District play kick to kick. Inside forward 50, it was a big lead coming from the back. Wasn't able to be grabbed, though, as Glenunga might just get out of danger here. Down the wing, the bouncing footy, rolled past the hands in the end of Calabas.
Glenunga get it. They've got McMahon open by about 15 metres. Thankfully for Ditters, they don't. And it'll be Dwyer who takes off into the Southwest Cricket Net's pocket. We're between the shade and the Guernseys. It's hard to tell who's who in the zoo at the moment, except that's almost collected. Yeah. Apologies for the language from our producer there. We did not see that coming, and thankfully it almost took out our laptop and TV. It didn't. Port District go further inside 50 this time. Another goal here, and it will be a one-kick game. They've got it. They've got numbers here. Sharrod's lurking. He's going to force the tackle. What he tried to do there was interesting. It's the battle of 23's. Parsons and Sharrod tried to give each other the ball so they could be tackled and holding the ball. Umpire wasn't forward. He just said, my ball, and just let that blood pressure go down, heart rate go down after we almost got a disposal.
Yeah, well, I haven't been that close to the football in a very long time as Pridham goes back down the line. Ball bounces in the wing. There's laughs all around the commentary box. Ball on almost true centre wing, between true centre wing. As McMahon picks up the footy now. And Gaffney lays a good tackle. Ball about to go up. Lysette, he'll do battle with who I'm assuming will be West. It is West. We'll tap down as Batty this time lays the tackle. He's doing work all over the ground. He is. As the ball bounces. Tackle laid by McKay this time. And Phil, what do us and Glenunga have in common?
What do we have?
Yeah.
Okay. Knock, who's there? Okay. I don't know, Lockie. What do we and Glenunga have in common?
Well, we're both in the firing line at the minute, mate.
Yeah. Good point. Well done.
Ball, meantime, collected, snapped out of there by Gaffney. No, wasn't on target at all as Moddy Stutch was trying to keep it in, but it does roll over. Tammy doing the defensive work. He's going to take the kick in, Phil.
All right. As you can see, it's strategy time for the Rams coaches. And what Port had been able to do was actually bottle it up forward for a little while, but could not get a score, let alone a goal out of it. So it is, what have we got? Yeah, we got 11 points. Just checking everyone's on the same score. We are, as Glenunga's forward 4A lands in the arms of Ferns. His kick a little wayward. Lysett again. If Port get up, he's getting a beanie. I'm going to say that now. His work in ruck and his work around the ground has been sublime. He's got plenty of helpers to try and drag them forward. They're just not as direct as Glenunga were. But they got Sam Gray by the boundary. Just as he was about to step out, he goes to the top of the square. Hot footy to get. Sherrod is there. And then he was beaten by another Barry Crocker of a bounce. Holding on, Glenunga ball.
The Calavasaurus is going to have it. Nope. Yes, it is a mark.
And they'll pay Carlo Vasitas. They just need to settle the ship a little bit.
They do. It's not looking good at the minute.
From, I think, 32 points was the game high, down to now 11. West had the jumper tug, but not seen. Ends up with Rose. So what they're trying to do is Glenunga very good defensively. Port District are trying to work their way around it. And when the opportunity suits, they come in board to work through it. Right now it's Jack Gaffney.
Gaffney into the pocket. Few fly, but the bouncing footy unable to be controlled until it was flicked back over the head of Scott and ended up in the hands of Carla Vasitas, but it did end up over the boundary line. Ball comes back in. Gaffney this time doing the ruck tap against Davis, it looked like. Davis in the end ended up getting his the footy to his boot. As McMahon's there, he lays the tackle. Nash gives it off towards Carter. Carter backtracking and ran out of room in the end as that kick goes out broadcast side.
That was almost like a rugby union kick concede, give the opposition the ball, go for touch kind of thing. Because they were under better pressure. There's a big fly and it's a grab. I reckon that might be your it's your choice, Lockie, but I reckon that's right up there for the Neomorph Mouthguard's magic moment. Probably would seal it if he kicked it, and it's Fletcher Wiseman.
I thought he's had a really good game as well as Fletcher Wiseman. I thought he's done some nice things coming inside forward 50 as well, and that is some kind of grab.
Yeah. I thought he went a bit early, but managed to keep eye on the ball. So it looks here like it's pretty easy, but nothing kicking today is because the breeze is going all over the shop. It's be aiming just outside the right goalpost. Not too far outside because they have a lot of room for it to come back, which he does. Beautiful kick to cap off a spectacular specky. Get that mouthguard ready for number 35.
Absolutely get the mouthguard ready. But let's see. Well, there's still a lot of footy. Let's see if someone can take it off him.
That's going to take a bit of... I'm just glad we got a nomination.
I had something down, but it was a Port District player.
As well,
I'll
if
leave
Port
it.
District get up, we have to flip because we do not give prize. But that's an important settler for the Rams because
It
Port
is.
District had a lot of the ball in their territory for a long time.
11-5-71 plays 8-6-54.
And this game might just be decided by forward efficiency.
You've got to give it, in terms of forward efficiency, it's certainly the Rams that are on top there, I think. And it's back in the middle we go. Lysette this time wins the ruck tap out. Ball bouncing and collected in the end by Bennett. Bennett's kick then towards no one but Haynes, and Haynes couldn't take the mark, which opens the door back up for the Rams. Tackle laid by the other Haynes. That's Nash
Too
Haynes,
high.
but it was too high.
So just like that, Port District had all that possession, didn't get a goal. They scored a few earlier though. And this would be the second inside 50 in the space of 10 minutes for Glenunga, and they're getting their second high percentage shot.
So it's going to be Schwarz.
Three for the day.
Kick on its way. It looks pretty good. It's drifting late. It's across the face.
You've got to aim just outside the right, behind the right goalpost. Give enough fat for that.
The margin at halftime was 21. 20 minutes later, it sits at 18. So they've been dominant this quarter, Port District. But
yeah, well, they got it down to 11, which was from 32. They'd worked it back well. Gray has it. He'll put boot into the Sharon. Big thump. Back there's Gray there now. So I think that earlier player, my apologies, was Jack Gaffney. Oh, felt that from here. Ollie Cheeseman just got cracker-barreled. As you can see there, some of the carnage starting to occur. Jack Scott getting the magic spray. Not sure it's the same spray that we had at Tea Tree Gully with the Broadview team the other week. That would look more aerosol than the last one. Bilby with a high kick. We have another fly. They line it up! Oh. Not this time. I saw one player said, I want to get on a footy show.
that might have been Wiseman again.
Might have been. Came from a fair way back. I'm not sure we're going to get the replay of the... If we can quick... No, we won't. We won't because they'll ball it up quickly and they'll snap a goal and we'll miss it.
Back to the live action here. 22 minutes gone. Filming footy. Bringing you the Adelaide Footy League. Well, they're passing it around at the back. Port District, they finally get it clear. The bouncing ball might be collected by West to send it back in. And he had McKay with him step for step.
I like that from Port District. They moved it quick. It was clean, quick defensive work to find the free player. And we all know Glenunga's defensive strengths. You've got to beat that. You've got to move it cleanly and freely to get it to whoever's got some degree of space.
Kennett dropped the footy as Dwyer picked it up. And there's a bit of a wrestle going on here between McKay and Bennett. No love lost. Umpire says we'll ball it up, and the fire went out as quickly as it started.
Well, at the moment, Port District, the accurate one, 3 straight goals. Glenunga, the inaccurate 2 goals. 3! Oh, holy moly. There's one player yet to get up. Thankfully, he is on his haunches. That was pain for everybody. And, courage personified. Let's have a quick look at that replay if we get it.
Got to replay the ball up.
There is a throw-in, but we've got to watch this. Oh, my goodness. Who was the player that went back with that?
I believe that was Carla Vasitas.
I reckon that's your Moseley Bar and Kitchen Team Player Award. That courage. Oh, my goodness, and he got up. And, he's on the sideline at the moment. All right. Whoa. So we've had the footy hit the van. That one felt like the footy hit the van. Oh, my goodness. Take it away, Lockie. 24 gone.
Back in the middle of the ground, or near enough, as West hikes it out of there. Free kick going the way of Port District. It is going to go in the hands of Sharrod. He's done some fantastic stuff today in the Port District team that is desperately trying to work their way back into this one. Martin's only at 3 goals, 11-6 plays 8, 6-72 plays 54. As it is in the hands of Haynes, back to Sharad. Sharad then gets the player in Ferns involved in the play. Ferns just stops and starts and loads up the footy. High ball coming, Carter flew. He was unable to stop the man at the front from affecting the contest. As the ball drops, goes inside forward 50. It came off the boot of McMahon. But Haynes is going towards the line. As Sharad, his kick was affected. The smother, waits. Davis settles and drags it across the face. 11-7 plays 8-6.
Interesting. They missed a 3 now to the near side. Not by a lot. Having been so good with it down the other end, they're struggling at the clubhouse end with the very same breeze. So it is Port District ball. Look, you feel that goal from Glenunga has flipped. Port District haven't really had a decent chance since. 3/4 time is imminent at the 25.5-minute mark. Maybe another 2 minutes at most. We haven't seen a picture of the lad with the cordial yet. That's usually the signal.
He's going to get some from the bar.
Yeah, he's had to go get another cotties. Kick over the back of the pack. Is this a chance for Port District to run on? No. Kennett did well to get it first. Get the hand pass back. High kick. Good grab. And Davis is... I mean, it's just boring to give Davis awards, but he's in so much. And he goes with a quick kick and he finds the target. And with this, Glenunga can win the quarter. Oh, set themselves up to win the quarter. And you notice how we're taking every available second here? Yeah, and it will be Thomas Bilby to have the shot. He has already kicked the 1 goal. Not saying the game lies on this kick, but these kicks after the siren always bring extra momentum to the occasion. He's straight in front. I reckon he's going to kick from about 45. He starts right. It comes back beautifully. And Glenunga threatened, respond. They're 12-7, 79. Port District are 8-6. That's 54. The margin back beyond the half-time out to 25 points. Big recovery from the Rams. We head to lemon time. We'll be back with some goal scorers, some assessments, some scores around the grounds, and the final quarter with Lockie Gould, Phil Hurd, and the Filming Footy crew. This is the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. It is all happening here at Webb Oval. An incredible quarter. The footy hit the van. We had one of the most intense footy collisions, a three-way footy collision, that I have ever felt. We all felt that. Yeah. Not as much as Thomas Calavasides did, but boy, it just left us grasping at a moment. And we had a quarter where Port District threatened, and then Glenunga responded.
Just on that Calavasides moment, I guess. It reminded me a little bit of, I don't know if you remember in '07, the St Kilda Sydney game. Nick Rewalt went back with the mark and took an absolute screamer, nearly knocked himself out. Yeah, but as one of my favourite players growing up, I just thought I'd make a comment there.
Yep, and similar one, Jonathan Brown, a slightly earlier vintage, going back, took the mark, got flipped over. I mean, that one wasn't a mark, but oh my goodness. I reckon that collision, because there was 3 involved, I mean, you have momentum with 2 players. One player gives, one player goes. You have 3, you have this sort of ricochet kind of effect. And I'm just really glad that the kid got up.
Me too.
Because initially it looked like he might, well, it took a little while. Whether we see him back or not, we might keep an eye on the huddle.
That's a big moment there. Is Batty just, I'm not sure what he was signalling towards, but he looks like he might have been in a slight little bit of discomfort there on the monitor.
Yeah, well, he had a huge quarter with a couple of goals and was involved in setting up a couple more. I mean, in theory, and we've seen goals kicked either end, no drama there. Port District are coming home with the breeze, and if they were 2 goals or even 3 goals, yeah, okay, slight chance. I think Glenunga have the buffer. It's just Port District, by reputation, but don't strike me as a team. They're known as a defensive side that will hold you to a low score. I haven't seen in their repertoire covering them a team that can bang on 6 goals. Glenunga can. Maybe we'll learn something about Port District. They do have Lysett, who's dominating, not just in the ruck first touch, but he's getting the ball out. Sam Gray's getting back into it. Sharrod, the Gaffneys, the usual suspects, and Batty was providing the target.
It's a good fucking
They
year,
could
but
put
you
that
live
together
for
for
these
15
fucking
minutes, you
games.
never know.
Yeah, 100%. I was just going to mention something that's a little bit off topic, but guess who one of Scott Lysett's favourite players was growing up?
Jack Rewalt.
John O'Brien.
John O'Brien. Well,
So
who didn't like John O'Brien?
So it's all come full circle there a little bit.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, we've got some prizes to give out. The Belgravia New Balance voucher, Archie's Footwear, Dartfish Beanie. I'm still up for grabs. I reckon we might have a certain Glenunga player, if they get up, that took a specky and a good goal, Fletcher Wiseman, the Neomorph Mouthguard's magic moment, and Thomas Vasidis. That courage is exactly what the Moseley voucher is all about, the Moseley Bar and Kitchen voucher. But, having written them down a quarter early, we have a right to be overridden. Let's see what... The third quarter was something else. Let's see what this final quarter brings. And to bring it to you, here's Lachlan Gould.
Here we go.
The umpire was ready to commit, and if you have a look on the other side, you can just see a few stragglers. Hurry up, boys!
They were taking the kick to kick at 3/4 time and didn't get off the ground quick
Show
enough.
some hustle, you're holding us up.
So as the game's delayed.
25 points. It's a long way back from Port District, but if there's time enough, if good enough.
Umpire holds the ball aloft, and we've got 22 from each team on the ground now. No spectators, as Lysett and West do battle. West wasn't quite able to grab it out of the ruck that time. Emerging from the footy, though, is Glenunga. Davis tried to just soccer it out of there, was unable to. And now Port District coming hard the other way. Ball bouncing inside forward 50. Almost trapped, and not quite, though, in the end, as it might just get cleared. Few going to fly. Pridham, one of the smallest men on the ground, takes a fantastic grab.
Yeah, he was been a bit quiet recently. Showed a lot of dash when Glenunga were on song. Moving the ball quickly and effectively. Good grab to get back into it. And the ball almost hits the van again.
If that happens,
We're a dead set target today.
the van's going to end up on the stat sheet by the end of this,
Yes,
I reckon.
it is. So it's a throw-in right in front of us. Beautiful blue day, 17 degrees or so I've been told. I reckon wind chill might kill that. Lysett tries to be the one-man ruck row, but does get the kick away, only sideways. Ends up with Haynes with a Y. He puts Port District inside forward 50. Batty loses his opponent, loses the ball. Will he get it back? Port District have some numbers if it sits. The snap across goal. Muddy Satch has it, he lost it. And Glenunga for the moment clear.
They do. And it's West who takes a strong grab. Now they can look further up the ground. West just takes his time, evaluates the decisions he's got ahead of him, and decides the wing's where I'll go, boys. Fly at this one. Haynes up. Had it knocked out of his grasp. as waiting down was Kennett. Kennett inside forward 50. Ball bouncing. Almost collected in the end by Carter. Rolls out the side. Good tackle by Wiseman. Doing it at both ends at the minute.
I just think Glenunga are a goal away. If they can get that 5-goal buffer, given that Port District have kicked 8, they got a chance here. Schwartz, the hand pass on to Bilby. He's kicked a couple. Fortunately, he's got Liam Ferns right there, another holding the ball. We've seen a stack of holding the ball decisions today. But to the umpiring crew,
been fantastic.
tip my cap to you. Has not been a game of controversy, but it has been played hard. Very hard at times. From that pack, emerging was Jack Scott into the pocket. Trying to smother it was Nash Haynes. I'm not sure if it was touched. I think it was, and would be a throw. And of course, the Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic giving you the interchange benches this afternoon. Actually, it was not touched because it's Port District ball.
Yep, so a free kick for last touch out of bounds. I think that's the official name of the rule at least. As the ball goes towards the top of the 50. Ball bouncing, collected, well done. There's Calavasaurus, who's doing some fantastic work out there. Big pack forms, not able to quite bring it down. As out of the area it goes.
I'm just really glad he's back out there.
I am so glad he's okay. As the football just bounces, collected almost as they try and turn one way then the other. It's Fahey who sends it up, and they found a loose man, and it's Brittam again.
Yeah. Here's a chance for mine to seal the deal. Sorry for the Ditters fans that are on the one hand watching Port Adelaide Power play the Bulldogs.
That one's not going their way either. Oh, no, sorry.
No, it is.
Yeah, no, sorry, it is.
It was. Not that we give AFL scores, but we did note it. But it's all eyes on Charlie Pridham, the former Westies, Plimpton and Goodwood Saints Jr. has kicked it across the face. I don't think he scored. No, he did not. That, in the context, not the greatest kick in a day when, to be honest, the kicking for goal has been, in these conditions, pretty good. This is the kind of day that you could get a 4 goals 12. But both teams have done pretty well.
Do you think, and not taking anything away from Port District or Glenunga here, but do you think that the fact that Glenunga train here, do you think that helps them?
Well, no, it's an unusual breeze. Easterlies are unusual for mine. You might usually get westerlies from the coast. You get southerlies at this time of year, and of course during the summer you get the hot northerlies. But this is sort of a southeasterly, and that tends to be one of the rarer breezes you get. But that's what we got today. Inside the forward 50 line, Pridham has it. Will he show some dash? He'll pick it up, he'll take off, and more importantly, once he shows some dash, he'll get the ball to your favourite in McMahon. He's off.
McMahon, I love him. As the ball goes towards the forward line, taken by Wiseman. Wiseman inside. And Haynes does the job defensively. Most times he's just there, able to take a good mark and turn it the other way. As the ball's off with Sharrett. Oh no, the bounce. It's cruel sometimes this game. It is cruel. And it's going to be a free kick going the way of Gaffney.
It's even crueler when your teammate doesn't hand pass to you properly. But at least you get the free kick. Gaffney looks to centre it. Got Rose. I'm still thinking, who am I going to give the best player to? But that was a good tackle. Ball spills free, though, with Miller Carter in the middle of Webb Oval. He's found a target inside 50. This is Nick Masiris. I got to get my going. Mizzy Thruss, I think is how we do it. And he is within scoring range, and, well, they need 25. They need at least 4 goals and a couple of behinds. And we've gone 5 and a bit. Pretty important kick.
Yeah, super important. The Zethris on the approach here, Phil.
1 goal for the season, 1 goal added to that today, and that will add to his behind tally. So, if nothing else, that useful behind. It's a flat 4-goal footy game now.
It is, so maybe potentially still a chance for Port District. They've got to be good. Oh, over the top. Oh, it nearly worked out for McMahon. And I tell you what, ferocious football out there.
I'll tell you what, the Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic might be overflowing just with this game.
Oh, if you're working Monday morning, come prepared. Get your full 8 hours in terms of sleep because you're going to need it.
So, batting off thanks to the Wakefield Sports Injury Clinic interchange. Lyset did that so well to Rose. Little kick around the body. Pridham lost it. He got taken high in the process. A little bit of afters happening. The assailant was Hunter Carter. If Pridham wants to get the number of that truck. And yeah, probably 25. I won't argue with that.
Yeah, he kicked it away. Did it with Zethris after the play.
Teams running the interchanges hot at the moment at the 7-minute mark. Trying to keep everybody a little bit fresh. To do that, I'll go to Lockie Gould.
Smith, inside forward 50. Ball just sits. No one able to quite grab it. As in the end, it nearly worked its way out for Cheeseman. Although this running play seems to be working up the wing now for Port District. They get it away, and it's Mazethris again who's involved.
So you can do it. Mazethris. Is that how we do it? Okay. He kicks around. So you've got McMahon, I've got Mazethris. we all have our kryptonite somewhere. And it's out of bounds.
Yeah.
Throw in. Port District are yet to do anything. They've kicked it behind. Other than that, they're not going to win this game, kicking 24 of them in this quarter. Got to find a major. It's inside their 50. McKay is there, and West says, thank goodness I got someone out other than Scott Lyset to battle with. Lyset's a kick behind the play at the moment.
Lyset's doing an incredible job. I mean, I know we've mentioned it, but he is absolutely holding his own in this ruck
Last
contest.
time, I only saw Port District second time, and the last one was the previous against Glenunga Anzac Day, where you got up close and personal with Scotty because he was sort of running on one leg all day.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, okay, you'll give him a bit. But he's looking every bit the full footballer today.
Yeah, he took some time out after that game, actually. He was telling me on a podcast I did with him, had a nice 38-minute chat with him. So it was fantastic. I'll continue that thought in a minute, as there is Lysel.
There he is.
And the gang tackle to stop Sharrod from going anywhere. He told us that he's one knee injury away from a reconstruction, basically.
Yep.
So he took some time out for himself away from, well, still with the football club, but away from the playing group, and was able
to look at that!
There we are. As Rose, it was from Lyset. And there's Passanidi.
I thought half-time, I probably should give him a vote. Now I'm thinking, might be more than one.
Ball.
Okay.
Inside forward 50. Big pack was forming, but it's over the top. It's over the top and punched away. You were going to say?
I was going to say it's going to be more than one. Might be more than one. But we do have our rule. The best on ground has to be for the winning team. We haven't ever broached that. Even on the Anzac Day, if you remember, Lockie, we were all ready to give it to the Anzac Day medalist, except the Anzac Day medal presented by Port District was given, surprisingly, to a Port District player, and we had to call the audible pretty quickly.
Ball down the wing as pack was going to form. Rose in the end was in the centre of it, and he was able to get a hand pass out. Only his father was one of the opponents wearing a Glenunga shirt. Oh, Bilby's in all sorts of trouble. He's got Matt Rose clamped onto him, and it's going to be a free kick.
Rose has had a very good day today as well.
It's been the experience. It's combined as up goes Davis, and the ball was snapped away in the end by Moody Starch.
Kick up high, Lyset versus West. West got the thump only as far as a couple of ditters as it spills to Passanidi. I thought he'd missed, but I forgot about the wind. He's got his second, and ditters get there first. Port District their first for the final quarter. They edge ever closer. And as this game starts to go along, and look, it's 10.5 minutes. I'm probably going early. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe, 2 to 4 goal win to Glenunga. And given the way that the Rams were travelling in the second quarter, I'm going to give some kudos to Port District in the way they've competed since then. And that was my big question for today. Is this a race in two, or Port District, which did the recruiting, have they got enough here to challenge? And I'm beginning to think that if things go their way for long enough, come finals, it's a possibility.
It is everyone, and that's the funny thing about finals. You actually only need to have one bad game for your opponent to snap you up.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time in all sorts of football. If you're off, a team will beat you. Ball bounces and collected in the end. Sharrod was waiting at the back. The ball snapped forward. I don't think this one's done yet, Phil, as the ball's grabbed at the top. It is Mazithras. He's got the footy as inside. It goes as the players just bounce and sit. No one able to grab it until a strong tackle was laid in the end by Gray.
Wow. What Port District need to do, and it's something that Glenunga have done very well today, is when they've had the forward 50s, they've converted into something. We haven't got a forward 50 count. Sorry, Adam's on assignment, but if I was having a guess, I'd say Port District have probably had more. They've got the ball now. Spin around the corner, and believe it or not, they've managed to kick it to the far side. Harry Hawkins, the rush shot. Could that be a useful behind, because it turns 18 points to 17? 3 straight shots, Port District hit the front. And it's been a little while since we've had an inside 50 for Glenunga. Looking around, I can't see, I think everyone's manned up. And we've lost the ball. Okay, new ball please. It's gone over the roof and over the other side. Okay. We'll aim to get you some final scores from around the grounds when we are completed, but all eyes on this one at the moment.
So he's in the hands of Mashat there. He's going to load up and take it down the wing. The pack forms. Lysette's there. He was waiting at the back. And over the boundary line it goes. Haynes the player that takes it over.
So help me out here with best players, because there's been a few for Glenunga, but they've sort of gone a little bit quieter. I mean, you've got Prosser, who was busy early with 3 goals. McMahon's had 3. Schwartz has had 3, so no separation for the forwards. Midfield, yeah, Abe's been busy. Had Smith in defence. I just need one, but who stands out?
Not to take away anything from the other forwards, but Prosser's goals, I think they came at a vital moment when the game was still in the balance really early.
Yeah.
I would, in terms of timing, I'd give it to Prosser.
So if he kicks a 4th, that's what he needs to do. But right now, he's not within cooey of the ball. Kicked out of bounds would be last. I caught it the last disposal because everyone else, I remember when Triple M did the Sandford Grand Final, because they never do Sandford the first year, and I was on their boundary, and I had to explain to them that it's not the last touch, it has to actually be a disposal. But I love the rule. I think it is an excellent one that they've introduced, and while we don't have it, for AFL, we should.
We absolutely should. As inside forward 50 it goes. That's a long ball towards the top of the square. It's going to bounce and it's going to sit and it's going to be collected, but driven into the dirt. In the end is the Glenunga player at the bottom of that pack.
Now, you said that you had a magic moment from Port District in your mind if they do get up.
The Cooper Gaffney tapped the ball over the top to Batty for his goal at the 6-minute 56.
So do we give that to Gaffney for the tap or Batty for the goal?
Gaffney for the tap.
Okay. Just get you to call some footy for a sec.
I will do that, absolutely. As the ball goes back behind, it's in the hands of Haynes. Haynes decides from the last line of defence to bang it out. No one able to quite hang on to it in the end as it just sits and falls and everyone's on top. No one able to get it out. We're going to have a ball up. It's been a fantastic game of football. We're still on here, 15 minutes gone in the last quarter here. We'll have probably about 25, you'd imagine, as the ball's snapped out of there. Bouncing footy along the wing, almost trapped, not quite able to, as no one's going anywhere. Gaffney, the tackler. And if his team can get him over the line, he might end up with a mouthguard as well. A neomorph mouthguard, best in the game, Phil.
Best in the game, indeed. And after today, who wouldn't be wearing a mouthguard? We might need one in the commentary booth, although probably wouldn't help our commentary too much. Kick inside 50 by Districts. The Glenunga defence got there first. It's in front of the playground pocket. Not sure if there's many kids out there today. Part of the wonderful facility we have here at Webb Oval. Oh, there's one. See the little bike there with the pink helmet. Throw up, 30 metres out. Davis is in the ruck. Ball spills free. Here's a chance. Somehow Harry Dwyer got goal side of the Glenunga defence. Nathan Grimer's going to study that vision for a fair while. Because it just had to look, oh yeah, Port District's just conceding ground to turn around and come the other way. But then I realised, hang on, they're going towards goal. Davis the tap, kick forward. Yep, Sharad with the hand pass. And don't go anywhere just yet, folks, because what's that? That's an even...
2-goal ball game.
It's 11 points. It's 10-8-68 to 12-7-79. Not that... Am I going to doubt Hugo here? Am I going to doubt Hugo? Because the scoreboard says 10-8, and I'm pretty sure it is. Sorry, Hugo. No, I've learnt not to doubt Hugo, our producer. I just get a feeling that I do remember them getting to even, and then I remember them getting another one to get ahead. So, yeah, I'm doing my list.
Updated scores, and we are away again as Davis, he slapped it forward but wasn't able to get a teammate in terms of assistance as the ball's going to go up again. We are inside the centre square. We are at the 17-minute mark, but this one is still alive. We've got an 11-point ball game, 12-7, plays 10-8. Pridham, he kicked it inside forward 50. It was Haynes who got rid of it. Ball bouncing on the edge of the 50 here as Wiseman's tackled. And the umpire says that one's going to be mine.
One thing that Glenunga have done very well, we've mentioned a couple of times, they answer quickly when Port District get a sniff. Right now they've got a sniff. They've got the inside 50. Their forward efficiency's been pretty good. They need to get another goal here.
Pridham and down. Strong tackle. It was Hawkins who was all over the top of him.
Check out the sleeves on Hawkins. Wow. There's a bit of work in there.
Yeah, certainly is. And as the ball goes inside forward 50, it's a big fly. Is it trapped? No, it's not. Last-ditch desperate defending in the end by Port District keeps them in this contest. Ball's going to be collected, though. It's going to come back inside forward 50, the bouncing footy, the sidestep to get clear of his own teammate, I think, in the end it was, as the ball bounces down. Sharad's there. He gives it past to the running man in Gaffney. Gaffney had to stop.
No.
Yeah, Hawkins, it rolled past him. The handle wasn't what he wanted as Dwyer's on hands and knees fighting for the football. And Glenunga hold up the play.
The idea was excellent. The execution a little off. The bounce of the football hasn't worked much today at all. So we are at the edge of the centre square. We are at the 19-minute mark, about to hit time on. So enough time here as we're within 2 goals. Port District, that is a high kick. Rose is trying to get underneath it. Got a touch, got a tap. Pick up and shoot is going to just sneak in for a behind by Nick Mizithis. Is that close enough? I can't believe I this much trouble. It's probably just the way I wrote it. And the margin reduces to 10.
Here we go then. Who's going to stand up for their team? And it is, in the end, a long bounding footy out of the defensive zone. It's a fantastic mark in the end. Bilby doing the job back in the centre of the ground for Glenunga. Finds a teammate in Fahy.
Well, they've got 3 Rams on 3 goals. I reckon if one gets a 4th, that might be enough for the beanie.
Inside forward 50 we go. At the back, no one able to quite take a mark as the ball's going to sit in the hands of Hawkins. He needed about 8 bites of the cherry, though, and that allowed the Glenunga defender to tackle him. That Glenunga defender was Kennett.
It just... yeah. Here you go. Let's turn that off because we're getting a hum. Okay. We're in the middle. The kick forward by Broden Hawkins went straight sideways, and again the free kick. Okay. Have I got to make a decision? Okay, I'm going to make a decision. Where's a coin?
You know where my vote sits.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough.
The ball goes up on the wing. I'm about to bid farewell to go get ready for the post-match post-match presentations as the tackle was laid as Sharad does his job.
So we're in time on, and the clock's starting to become. I mean, it's a 10-point game. If Ditters get a goal, then suddenly it's next goal wins. This is where Glenunga need to find a way to shut it down. Try and use as much time as they can when they have the opportunity to. Sam Gray through his hands, and now it's Glenunga's turn to keep on. We did have to laugh. Nathan Gromer telling a player to be louder. Not sure there's enough room for a couple of those. Okay. Lockie's headed off into the elements to give our post-game awards. Let's hope we don't have something that might require a change. Big thump. That might have been by West. Chance for Schwartz. Got the quick hand pass to Wiseman. There's a couple of contenders. They've been good today. Miller into some space. Here's an important footy to get. Here comes, I reckon that was Haynes with a Y. Nash Haynes. He's been pretty good defensively. Just like that, it's inside forward 50, but picked up and repelled by Kyle Vasitas. And there's a flow. Was that West? Gee, he got up pretty high for the big man. With Ditters, with Districts. Harry Dwyer's kick is smothered. Glenunga, at the moment, look like they're going to hold on. Not sure there's the concept of the honourable loss, but this will give Port District confidence that they've made up ground from what happened on Anzac Day. Big crowd at Largs, if you remember, and a 44-point win to Glenunga on that day. Another kick inside 50. Who's the target? Who's the crummer? At the moment, there's Smith. He was taken high by Mitch Gaffney. And all of a sudden, he's got cramp. Or he needs to check some things out. Tick, tick, tick. 23 minutes gone. It ain't over yet. The high kick into the breeze. Pack sets in the middle of Webb Oval. Port Districts with the clearance. Beautifully done out to Rose. Rose, good possession to Harry Hawkins. His opponent, I think, is on the 50-metre arc. Umpire calls play on. Hawkins kicks to the right. I'm not sure it has the distance. 2 metres out, it's tapped. And a free kick given. The tackle on Fay, sort of a slingy type tackle. That will be the rule. In Glenunga, a chance to take off a few more seconds. Declan Fay committed himself to the ball, rode the tackle, got the free. You'll notice the lack of urgency. Let's wind down this clock and go with a long kick. Get away from Port District's goal as much as possible. Lyset, another crumb to Mac Haynes, another touch to Dinoff, another inside 50, and Batty, another mark. James Batty knows the situation. He runs back from the mark. 24 and a half minutes gone. The margin is 10. This is a gettable range for this guy. Runs to the right. It swings around. It's there. It's within a goal. Port District are 11-9-75. The Rams 12-7-79. Game on at Webb. I thought he might have left it a bit skinny. It didn't look like there was much left when it crossed the goal line. And now everybody's stressed. That's what I love about this game. Why do we ever have a countdown clock in Australian rules football? We have no idea when the siren's going to go. The timekeepers do, I guess the teams do. But you don't, I don't. How good. It could go at any second. It could go in 3 minutes. And West, Lyset may be tiring just a tad. No, he's not. He went and got the ball. Then it went to Ferns and he was levelled fairly, unfairly. It's holding the ball. It is. Lincoln Bennett with the tackle. He's going to show no urgency. I reckon he's going to go long. Or maybe he'll just keep possession off. Man up time for the District's defence. Top of the square, Lyset is there. He was in the middle a moment ago. Mac Haynes Fends off Pridham. He'll take a bounce. With this surface, that's courageous. Off hands to Joe Haynes. Here's your chance, Districts. But in front of Batty on this occasion was Zach Smith. The Smith-Batty battle has been fantastic. Zach won it early, Batty won it second half. A late victory to Smith might just be enough. They're playing keepings off. Jack Machette has wasted a couple more seconds. On the wing, they fly. There's your siren. Glenunga, 12 and zip. But not after a big comeback from Port District. That second half was quite some game of football. Final score on the Hahn scoreboard. Glenunga, 12-7. That is 79. Port District, 11-9. That is 75. In that final quarter, and don't forget, Port District were 25 points down, and you go back to that goal that was quick just before the end of the third quarter. Obviously, it's a different game, but I guess every goal in this case was the difference. In that final quarter, Glenunga kicked 1 goal, 1. Port District kicked 3 goals, 3. 20 scoring shots to 19. I guess in the analysis, when you lose by less than a kick, there's what's if. All right, take a breath. We're going to get some scores from around the ground. Lockie's going to get our presentations next week. Glenunga are right back here to take on Tea Tree Gully. Port District to try and go, will it be 13? Will it be lucky for some? Port District, they'll be at home at Largs Reserve or Country Reserve Homes, or Country Homes Reserve. Apologies. They'll be hosting Prince Alfred. I'll tell you what, the man works with speed. This is why we need a young'un doing the boundary. Lockie Gould has sprinted out there. He's got his people. Okay. We're just sorting out some prizes. I'm going to go around the grounds in a second. I haven't looked at anything else. I haven't dared look away from this game. But there are 4 other results. We'll see what's going with those in just a sec. But Lockie has done a mountain of work. Can tell you there's still some other exciting results. Payneham Norwood Union lead Tea Tree Gully by 14 points at the 23-minute mark. But Lockie is ready to go. Let's go to Lachlan Gould.
Well, here we are, guys. We've got the 3 award winners here for what it was a fantastic game, just getting over the line in the end. Glenunga doing the job. Harry Prosser, mate, you've won yourself the $100 Belgravia / New Balance voucher, the Archie's footwear, and the Dartfish beanie. Harry, mate, just talk us through those goals you kicked to begin.
Yeah, it was a good start. When the ball comes in, nice and hot, we back ourselves as a forward line to get it done. So it was my turn early. So yeah, it was a good game.
Oh, something's come down. Fletcher Wiseman, you've won yourself the magic moment. You've won yourself the magic moment, which is the Neomorph mouth guard. Mate, talk us through that grab.
I'll get a roll each week just to try and, impact in the air and on the ground. And, whenever Nath tells me to go, I got to go. And, that was the moment I had to go, which is good. And I plucked it, which was nice as well.
Thomas Carlovasitas, mate, that moment when you're backing back, we're about where it happened here on the ground, you're backing back in the play. Did you have any idea what was coming?
Oh, I knew something was coming, but I didn't know how far away it was. But Nans always just says to just put your head down and go. So that's what I did.
Of course, that is the best team man award for the Moseley Bar and Kitchen.
That won us the game, in my opinion. They were coming hard, and that turned it around. So, TK, that was fucking amazing, mate. That was amazing. Good boy.
There you are. Very, very happy Glenunga fan down here, and we'll see you guys back very, very soon. Back to you guys, Phil.
Well, I'll tell you what, Prosser might have a role as a special comments man. He might have to clean it up a bit, but yeah, fantastic. Harry Prosser. Well done, Lockie. He's had a big day doing the commentaries. We have a look at the Dartfish highlights, and there was quite a few of these. And Harry Prosser was busy early as we're searching for something. Lockie comes back. We're getting the photographs. Yeah, so I can tell you it's 15 points in favour of Tea Tree Gully. In favour of Payneham against Tea Tree Gully. I'm just struggling a little bit to bring up the other ones at the moment. What other games have we got? Filming Adelaide Footy League. Golden Grove and Brighton, that's a live game. So it looks like we might be the early finishers here, which is fine. Payne and North Union by 14. Golden Grove are going to win and are going to win well by the looks of it. They have about a 5-goal lead over Brighton Bombers. So, yeah, a Golden Grove. Big win for them, might see them in the 5. Not sure if we've got a score from Sacred Heart St. Peter's. I'm going to delegate here. I'm going to give it to my erstwhile producer, and that leaves me to find one more game here, which is Prince Alfred and Broadview. Do apologise doing this live, but you want to know the live stream is offline, which means the game has ended. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get a score. So, all right, we're not going to get the full total odds. Lockie Gould, what an afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, what a fantastic game of football. The margin in the end, 4 points. We kind of thought coming in, and I was asking Harry Prosser about it as well. They started so well, but they just were able to find a way back, Port Districts and Glenunga. In the end, they do what good teams do, which is win games of football.
Yeah, here's Prosser, who I'm very happy I saw that, because not only did he kick 3, he set one up. So that's obviously why he's got the best team. Because it was a tight thing. I was really struggling to who was the when they were on song, there was everybody producing. Prosser early, and then it got a little bit quiet. Maybe the defense standing. Zach Smith had some big moments, but then Batty kicked some goals on him late. Probably in this game, if you kick 4, you give the award to the forward. This is one of my plays here, Cooper Gaffney's long kick. And I think this is where Mighty Stats fell for him, and he got the goal. So we're still in the second quarter here. When this flips to the third quarter, this is where it gets absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, a brilliant game of football. Look at that. Magnan snaps out the pack and finishes a lovely little check side goal from him.
And I think we had the question answered. Is this a premiership race in 2? No. I think Port District showed on today's effort that when they're on song and don't give a team a 5-goal head start, they can compete with the best, remembering, of course, that they did take care of Sacred Heart earlier in the season. They'll get another go at Sacred Heart a little bit later. This is Mighty Sats, I've never seen before, but had a couple of moments up forward with a couple of goals. And this was the start of the Port District comeback, which came late in the second quarter.
Can I throw a question your way, Phil?
Please.
Do you think Port District, and you mentioned how good they are when they're on song, but are they on song for long enough for you to be a team that's going to be a premiership threat? Because Glenunga and Sacred Heart, they're on song all the time.
Look, it's Glenunga. I mean, Nathan Grimer. Actually, Nathan Grimer, if I have a feeling deep down in the deep recesses of his mind, he wouldn't have minded that result today. Mm-hmm. Because it will expose some things that will ensure that the team doesn't get complacent. Because as a coach, it's all about continuous improvement. Once you say, yeah, that was great, we can never be better, that's when your decline starts. And he's got a premiership to win. Undefeated season, I don't think is if it's there, it's nice. Icing on the cake.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
But premiership first, premiership A grade Division 1 for Glenunga. That's all the marbles that you need as you see Batty and Gaffney starting to get into the contest. So yeah, I actually think Nathan Grimer would not have minded that comeback. It'll give him some things to talk about his team about. Tea Tree Gully, you're in for an interesting response next week.
Certainly are, and I think there's an old cliche. Well, they didn't lose the game. You learn more from your losses than you do from your wins, and they're certainly at the minute. They got close. They got close to losing, and at times they were losing that game of football.
So this is where Port District started to make their move, and then Glenunga settled, and we're about to see a couple of... I'm sort of padding a little bit here because I want those that have tuned in late to see a couple of highlights in a minute. Okay, Batty's kick, nice highlight. It was the mark, yeah, thank you. It's okay, here you go, it's okay. I'm not critiquing your highlight choices. And you can see here, the bounce eluded one, and in the end, a free kick given. All right, I reckon this is where we're going to see, yep, there's your good grab. Went up early, and sometimes you get up early and you lose contact. Now, okay, he took that at ground level, but certainly at the moment got hairs raised. And the most important thing, Lockie, he converted.
Yeah, it was interesting listening to him talk about it afterwards out there on ground, and he said he's given a role to do each week, and when he has to go, and that's what the coach expects of him. And he certainly went then and he did his job.
Hard game of footy. I think you'll see it in a minute.
This is the moment.
Yeah, I almost feel like giving this a moment of silence. You can see it's Nivasidis, and there are two big collision with the third bloke involved as well. He came off. We didn't know if he was going to come back on, and then he did come back and get some touches. And from here, well, Glenunga got, I think, the first goal, and that was their only goal of the final quarter. Sorry, that was the late goal of the final quarter that actually was, in the end, proved the difference. And from here, it was Port District. Plenty of the ball, plenty of peppering. They lose by the margin they did, less than a kicker behind. Games next week. Well, no, sorry, I apologise. No division game ones next week. Why? Because we play the Division 1 Grand Final the week after the other divisions. This is where we have the week off to be a week behind. So July 20, and I'll tell you what, both teams would love a week off next week. Glenunga Tea Tree Gully, Port District Prince Alfred, Brighton and Sacred Heart, which is second versus bottom, but it's the Battle of Brighton Road.
Yeah.
Plenty of Sacred Heart old scholars went to Sacred Heart School but played junior footy for Brighton, so that's pretty full on. St. Peter's, Payneham Norwood Union, two near rivals as well. Our stream game in a fortnight will be Broadview and Golden Grove. Golden Grove have got out of relegation zone. They've won their last couple. They're right in the mix. We go to Broadview. First time for me, calling off the balcony. Looking forward to it.
Me too.
I think you're with me, Lockie.
I am with you. I cannot wait for that one.
Sponsors: Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Nearmouth Mouthguards, Hahn, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish Footy Stats, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Remembering Adelaide Footy League Facebook page tomorrow for the weekend wrap. All the scores, ladders, and fixtures. A grade, men's and women's. Tommy Javor Division 1 extensive wrap. Can't miss it on Between the Post Monday night. Lockie, time for some final words.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Harry Prosser said post game. I think that moment with where they back into that pack and won that footy. I think that was, or won the footy, won the free kick, got nearly knocked out. I think that was the moment that did win the game. You could see the galvanisation of the troops for Glenunga and Port District. I think we've had a question answered, as you told us right off the top of the post game. I think they are a genuine threat if they can put it together for long enough.
Thank you, Lockie. Great effort today. Look forward to working with you. We're going to be at Edwardstown next week because no Div 1 games, but hey, no rest for the wicked. We're going to call some Div 2 action. Looking forward to that. So I'm Phil Hurden saying thanks for joining us at Glenunga. We're in the C's. It was Port District by 98 points. In the B's, Glenunga by 7. And in the A's, 32-point margin early in the second quarter. Port District got it back to 5 late. We'll be back, the stream team, in a fortnight for Broadview, but plenty of Div 2 action for you to follow next week. Until then, you've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy, we finish with the victorious, undefeated, perfect Glenunga Rams.